Tatsächlich los mit den Aufstellungen der einzelnen Teams. Ich würde die Spieler dann auch bitten, nachdem sie aufgerufen worden sind, an die Seitenlinie zu kommen, damit wir dann anschließend uns für die Nationalhymne erheben können. Wir beginnen mit den Mannheim Tornados. Jawohl, das hat schon mal gut funktioniert. Damit ist der offizielle Teil der Vorbereitungen abgeschlossen. Flight Conference war auch schon. Das heißt, wir sind soweit. Das heißt, die Jungs können ihre Handschuhe in die Hand nehmen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Haar Disciples Baseball. My name is Tim Collins, and on a cloudy yet warm and a little bit humid Saturday afternoon, we are coming to you live at about 5 p.m. from Haar Disciples Ballpark in the suburb of Haar, outside of Munich. It's going to be a matchup between the powerhouse Mannheim Tornados and the Haar Disciples. These two teams have met once already this year, and they split in a two-game series in Mannheim. That was all the way back on April 12th. And so we will see what's going to happen today. And first, we're going to have the ceremonial first pitch. And while that's happening, I would like to introduce my cohort for today, Mr. Andreas Thies. Andreas, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Thanks for having me on this broadcast.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for coming and helping out. Of course, if you don't know, Andreas and I do a weekly podcast about the baseball Bundesliga. And in that podcast, I speak about 95% German, and Andreas speaks 100% German. So you can catch that. You can find it on meinsportpodcast.de.
And it's called Swing and a Miss.
Swing and a Miss, that's right. That's what we do. That's what I do. Anyway.
Tim is the swing, I am the miss.
As it's a big festival here in Ballpark Haar. It's a large crowd. This is definitely the largest crowd of the year. As they've been sort of promoting this evening, they're having a big raffle, and it's the sponsors' evening. And you see right now behind home plate, Chris Howard posing for a photo along with Will Thorpe and Tom Wolf, the head of the Disciples Verein, along with the special guests that were there throwing out the first pitch. And this ball game is going to begin, and right away we have some, I guess, breaking news. The Mannheim Tornadoes have released Ricardo Marinez, a guy who was hitting, well, he was hitting very well. He had a bunch of home runs for them, and he is no longer with the team. Of course, no reason given out, and I'm not going to speculate as to why, but he is not on the team. And the Haar Disciples are going to take the field. But that's certainly an interesting development.
He had an on-base percentage from 461. He had a slugging percentage 768, and OPS above 1200. So
he was crushing the ball,
yeah.
And so whatever the reason for that, you know, the decision has been made. Meanwhile, you just saw the defensive alignment. Tomáš Ondra is going to be on the mound for the Disciples, working with the catcher William Thorpe. As usual, the third baseman Nate Sean Thomas, Titus von Kopp, the shortstop, Simon Lechner at second, Klaus Nigolici at first. The outfield from left to right, Lucas Steinlein, Cedric Bossel in center, and David Dinsky is in right field. The lineup that Tomáš Ondra is going to face looks like this. Dominic Höpfner, the center fielder for the Tornadoes, leads off. The ever-dangerous Thomas DeWolf batting second and playing first base. Also, Mitch Nilsson, who's just ripping it up again in the Bundesliga. He's fully recovered from his arm injury, and he's got 7 home runs. He's playing shortstop today, batting third. David Kandelis leading the Bundesliga with 10 home runs, and he is batting cleanup, natürlich, playing in right field. Lucas Dickman, the third baseman, has 4 home runs himself. He's batting fifth, and Jonathan Wagner, the designated hitter, batting sixth. Juan Martin, the catcher, bats seventh. Moritz Höhlein in left field, batting eighth. And Merlin Bendlin, the second baseman, is batting ninth. And this is a Mannheim Tornadoes lineup that they have been slugging.
The offensive powerhouse in the German Bundesliga right now, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. They have 39 home runs as a team. The next closest team is the Mainz Athletics, who have 20. Not including any action that has happened today.
I'm really curious how they can replace the offensive production from Marinez. I'm really curious to see that.
Well, we're about to find out, as Tomáš Ondra, who in his previous start against the Mannheim Tornadoes got the loss, but he wasn't that bad. He pitched 7 innings, gave up 8 hits, 4 runs, but only one of those runs was earned. So here we go, as the right-hander's first pitch is in for a strike. We are underway. Tomáš Ondra, the Czech right-hander, has an ERA of in between, a little bit around 5.5. And his next one is off the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Home plate umpire Oswald Scharf down the third baseline, Andreas Boxleitner, and the first base umpire, Sascha Pammesberger. There's the 1-1 from Ondra. Check swing on a pitch down and away. Did he go? Yes, says Pammesberger. Strike 2, as he was unable to hold up his swing.
Höpfner just one of the on-base monsters from the Mannheim Tornados. Right now in the season, 444 on-base percentage.
Yeah, when
That's
you're
not too shabby.
getting on base 50% of the time, but he's not going to get on base there. He strikes out on a good off-speed pitch. Let's take a look at the MSD instant replay. Breaking ball down and away, and a very weak hack by Höpfner. So there's one away.
Promising start for Ondra.
Well, let's see what happens with Mr. De Wolf. Thomas De Wolf is, you know, if he's not the most feared hitter in the Bundesliga, he's definitely one of them.
The first time I saw Thomas De Wolf was 2015 at the European Championships in Regensburg, and then back then he was Belgium's best hitter, best player all around.
1 ball, no strikes to him, as the first pitch was low. The second one is also low. He has played on so many teams in the Bundesliga. His first year in the Bundesliga was in 2013 with the Tübingen Hawks back in the day. 2-0 the count to the big Belgian, and ball 3 is low, 3-0. He then played 2 years in Stuttgart, and then he won the championship with the Mainz Athletics in 2016. Played in 2017 for the Tornadoes. And last year, I think he was back in Belgium. 3-0 pitch is on the outside corner. There is no way they want to come inside to De Wolf.
He pitches around there, strikes out right now.
Well, it doesn't get much easier with Mitch Nilsson and David Candelas behind him. And he takes ball 4. So De Wolf is aboard.
De Wolf's on base percentage 710.
Yeah, I mean, he's only played, I think he's only had 21 at bats, but still, he was 11 for 20 with 4 home runs and 3 doubles. So, you know.
Looked like a misprint at first.
Yeah. Somebody, by the way, asked is this a doubleheader? No, the series will continue tomorrow. So they will play 1 game today and 1 game tomorrow afternoon. Here's the pitch on the way to Nilsson. He squares and takes a strike. But if Mitch Nilsson bunts, the Disciples should have a parade. There is a defensive shift on the switch-hitting Nilsson, who's batting from the left side. And the pitch is a strike. 0-2.
Bottom of the strike zone.
Yeah, that looked like that off-speed pitch again from Tomáš Ondra. De Wolf a short lead on first base. He's got his hands on his knees, not going to go anywhere. 0-2. And that pitch missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ondra, 23 years of age from the Czech Republic. 1-2 the pitch. That ball is driven in the air to right field. This is playable for Dinsky. He makes the catch. De Wolf is far off the bag. The throw back is not in time, backed up by Thorpe. David Dinsky has a good arm, and he's not afraid to show it off sometimes.
Good heads-up play by William Thorpe, who covered first base.
I think Nilsson was jammed a little bit on that pitch. And you saw that De Wolf had to slam on the brakes and get back. So there are 2 outs. And the hitter, David Candelas. And Candelas, who is
63 at bats, 413 batting average, 500 on base percentage. Another one of these countless weapons from the Mannheim Tornadoes.
10 home runs for him. He's a native of Sydney, Australia, but he's half German, and I understand he actually has a German passport.
Ooh, sounds tempting.
It sounds like it might be something for the German national team, the way he's been playing. The pitch is just a bit low. By the way, Mitch Nilsson, who flied out, celebrated his birthday yesterday. Turned 28, so happy birthday to Mitch. Admittedly, 1 at bat too late. I know his family is probably watching back home in Australia. And the pitch to Candelas is a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Candelas born September 14th, 1990 in Sydney, Australia. He has played for the Blue Sox. He's played for the Canberra Cavalry. He's also been in the minor league system of the Rockies organization back in the early 2010s. 1-1 pitch. hit hard on one hop right past the shortstop Titus von Kopp into left center field. Sliding stop by Steinlein, and that holds the runners to second and third. If that ball had gotten all the way through to the gap, probably DeWolf would have scored. Take a look at how hard this ball was hit on the replay. It was a rocket. Titus von Kopp, the 17-year-old shortstop for the Disciples, probably hasn't had too many balls hit that hard right at him.
You cannot keep them from race from the Mannheim Tornadoes. It's very, very interesting to see this offensive power just in the first inning.
Yeah, we're going to see how that gets scored. My guess is that it's a hit, even though it was right at von Kopp. But, you know, this is the Bundesliga. Sometimes they give hits just for a ball hit that hard. We will see. Lucas Dickman now the hitter. Second and third and 2 outs. No score in the game at the moment. And the pitch. There's a ground ball to third. Juggled by Thomas. He recovers, and he's got no play. Everybody's safe. Mannheim leads by a score of 1-0. By the way, they had given an E6 on that last play, so Dickman will come home. Dickman will get DeWolf to come home. And the question is, how's that going to be scored?
I think that if they score it in error in the first in the play before that, I think they have to score.
Yeah, you're probably right. So no RBI would go on the play. Candelas goes to third base. Dickman is safe at first. It's 1-0 Mannheim. As the Disciples have just, you know, with all the injuries, they've been trying everybody possible on the left side of the infield. They've had Dinsky there a few times as Jonathan Wagner, the designated hitter, steps up, and Candelas, he gets a check over at first base. Candelas, by the way, is 4 for 4 in stolen base attempts.
And he had 15 extra base hits this season.
Yeah, I know. Swing and a miss, a good off-speed pitch to Wagner. Jonathan Wagner, also a former Stuttgart Red. He's been riddled with injuries the past several years. First and third, 1-0 Mannheim. We're in the top of the first inning. The pitch outside and low. 1 ball, no strikes. Don't forget, if you're out and about and you don't want to use up all your data, you can just click on the radio tab on EuroBaseballTV.com and you can listen to the commentary without the pictures. Here's the 1-1. Just a little bit high with a fastball. Now, Ondra has definitely been a pitch-to-contact guy. He has not struck out many players in his stint in the Bundesliga. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Another chopper. This one fouled on the third base line. Count now even, 2-2. Well, he struck out Höfner. That was his 33rd strikeout of the year in around 50 innings. But then the walk to DeWolf, Mitch Nilsson fly it out, and then 2 consecutive errors. There's a big chopper left side. Thomas gets it on the big bounce, underhands it to Lechner at second, and they get the force to end the inning. The runner was going, but he's forced out anyway, 5-4. And that ends the inning. 1 run. It's an unearned run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left on base. We will go to the bottom of the first inning here in Haar. Mannheim Tornados 1, the Haar Disciples coming to bat. This is Haar Disciples Baseball. Präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. So we go to the bottom of the first inning. It is the Mannheim Tornadoes 1 and the Haar Disciples 0. And on the mound is the right-hander Gianfranco Rizzo. And Rizzo has faced the Disciples once earlier this year, and he was fantastic in that game. He pitched 8 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, and 13 strikeouts. He's a guy who works very quickly. He's got an animated pitching delivery, and he's always one of the guys that when I'm talking about pitchers in the Bundesliga podcasts that we do, Andreas, he's one of my favorites to watch because of his body language on the mound and the way he sort of attacks hitters. And he's had a good year, ERA of 2.82 in around 54 innings, a record of 7-1.
Of course, 66 strikeouts.
Yeah, and I mean, he's pitching for a team that scores an average of 10 runs per game, so that makes pitching an easy thing. So Simon Lechner steps up to the plate. Left-hand hitter shows bunt. The first pitch is high, ball 1. It is 1-0 Mannheim, an unearned run that they scored. And the 1-0 pitch, that's a fastball strike. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Simon Lechner, who is really having a good year with the bat. Hitting over 300. Swings and chops it foul off of his leg at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count now. Defensively, for the Mannheim Tornadoes, they are lined up like this. Lucas Dickman at third, Mitch Nilsson at short, Merlin Bendlin, the second baseman, Thomas DeWolf is at first. And I'll give you that, the rest of that after the 1-2. Curveball hit high in the air to right field. This is playable for Candelas. He's underneath it and makes the catch with 1 hand. 1 down. The rest of the defense in the outfield, Moritz Höhlein in left, Dominic Hüfner in center, and David Candelas, who just made that catch in right field. Juan Martin is the catcher. The hitting lineup for the Disciples looks like this. Simon Lechner, who just flied out, and then Cedric Bossel is going to step up to the plate, followed by Will Thorpe. Then 4, 5, 6, Nate Thomas, Klaus Nicolici, and Lucas Steinlein. David Dinsky, David Wallace, and Titus von Kopp, 7, 8, 9 against Gianfranco Rizzo. And the pitch to Bossel is low, ball 1.
You're right, he has a very animated wind-up and pitch.
And he really hides the ball as Bossel swings and misses. You see he turns, you can see his entire number on the back of his uniform, and for a right-hand hitter that can be tough to pick the ball up. There's the 1-1. That one is right on the corner, 1-2.
Does he pitch from the stretch when first base is occupied?
Yes, for sure. I think what you mean is because some guys will pitch from the stretch even when it's not occupied.
Yeah.
Right? There's a breaking ball outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But he doesn't leave the rubber at all. He just gets the sign. He's ready to throw. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball, threw it right by him. And there are 2 down.
Yesterday I read the statistics from the MLB. Wade Miley from the Houston Astros is the fastest pitcher in the MLB. And yesterday we had a pitching duel with Chris Sale, the second fastest pitcher on the MLB, and that was quite fun to watch. 19 seconds.
19 seconds, yeah. Okay. Well, for Gianfranco Rizzo definitely going for that. Will Thorpe stepping up with a batting average over 400. He was leading the league in hitting. He's come back a little bit, but still hitting very well. A couple of home runs for him. And the curveball on the first pitch is low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. There's the 1-0. That ball hit in the air to left field. Höhlein is racing back. Warning track. Wall, and it is off the base of the wall. Thorpe around first, headed to second base, and he's got a 2-out double. There's the tying run for the Disciples. I think he hit it off the end of the bat.
Yeah, that was close to a home run. There was great power in that swing.
Thorpe has really been hitting the ball very well. See this pitch. It was down just a little bit towards the end of the bat. I don't think he quite barreled it up the way he would have wanted to, but Höhlein, the left fielder, didn't have a chance to catch it. He got it back in very quickly. And so now Nate Sean Thomas, the cleanup hitter. Will Thorpe, the tying run, standing out on second base as the Disciples have their first hit of the game.
Nate Thomas, 265 batting average, 393 on base percentage, 426 slugging.
Yeah, Nate has really turned it on of late. He had a grand slam home run a couple weeks ago. The first pitch was a strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 from Rizzo with Thorpe off second. Swing and a little squibber. That one is foul in the left-hand batter's box. So the count still no balls and 2 strikes. Nice crowd here, people filing in.
The weather doesn't look too promising right now.
Well, good, you just jinxed it. That means it's going to get sunny.
Hopefully, hopefully.
It was beautiful yesterday and the day before.
And it was beautiful the whole day until 3 o'clock in Munich.
Well, the Disciples, as have almost all the other teams in the Bundesliga, they just have had horrible luck with the weather this year. But nothing you can do about it. Nothing in 2. On Nate Sean Thomas, switch hitter batting from the left side. Rizzo comes set. Thorpe is off second base. And the pitch. This one sliced to left center field, and that ball is going to drop for a base hit. Thorpe around third, scores. Thomas racing for third base. Here comes the throw. He's in there standing with a triple, and we have a tie ball game, 1-1.
This was beautiful hitting from Nate Thomas. Wow.
Yeah, he took a 2-strike pitch, nothing at 2, and went right with it. Lined it to the gap in left center field. Dominic Hüfner with a dive, but he came no closer than about a meter to that ball. And so a 2-out rally, and the game is tied at 1. Let's take a look at the replay. And Klaus Nicolici also having a great year with the bat, stepping up to the plate. Infield is back. So now Nicolici a chance to give the Disciples the lead. The first pitch in the dirt, good block by Juan Martin. Don't forget, if it gets away from Martin, Thomas with blazing speed on third base.
Yeah. Nicolici met with offensive numbers with good.
You can speak German if you'd like, by the way.
No, I won't do that. Nicolici with good offensive numbers too. He had 339 batting average.
Well, he pops this one up to short left field, and that ball might drop in, and a nice over-the-shoulder catch by the shortstop Mitch Nilsson, who did not see the ball right away.
That was a highlight play.
That was a tough play. But the Disciples get a run on 2 hits. No errors, 1 left on base at the end of 1 inning of play here in Haar. We are tied at 1. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the top of the second inning, and the first pitch to Juan Martin was in for a strike from Tomáš Ondra. We are tied at 1 between the Disciples and the Tornadoes, and it has started to rain. There's a swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Just a drizzle, nothing horrifying as of yet, and at least it's not freezing like it was the previous weeks. There's the 0-2. Little tapper, and that one was kicked away by Martin, but it's going to go as a foul ball. Ozzie Scharf calling it a foul ball right away. So the count's still 0-2. Thorpe trying to claim that Martin was out in front of the plate and out of the batter's box when he kicked it. As we take a look at this on the replay.
It's close.
That's close. Martin, by the way, hitting at 237 on the season. The ball's in 2 strikes to count to him. And Ondra, the right-hander, deals. Fastball is high. 1-2. Well, Mannheim scored a run. It's funny, the first ball, the ball that David Candelas hit about 100 miles an hour was scored in error. And the ball fielded by Thomas was scored a base hit. This is a nice play by Tomáš Ondra as he had to go off to the left of the mound and field a little comebacker. 1-3 on the putout. There's 1 away here in the second inning.
Interesting to see how Ondra will handle the rain right now. It's a little bit drizzling. It's not too comfortable for the pitcher right now.
Yeah, usually, you know, the big problem is if the ball is getting too wet when it rolls around in the grass. Like on that play, the ball is going to have some moisture on it, and Ondra, of course, he's rubbing it up right now as the number 8 hitter Moritz Höhlein steps up to the plate. Remember, one of the big things of the day, the big news of the day, Riquerdi Marinez no longer with the Mannheim Tornadoes. First pitch is a strike. And so, you know, it's just part of the events of a season. There's always lots of stuff that happens and injuries and this and that, and sometimes you have to let people go. Of course, I'm not going to speculate as to what the reason is, but
Höhlein just 13 at-bats in this season for 467?
462,
462 batting average, 667 on base percentage, but 13 at-bats, so small sample size.
Yep. Here's the next one on the way. Fouled back, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. I mean, a lot of folks are sitting under the trees here to get some protection. We, of course, have only the highest quality tents above us. There's a chance it might blow away if it gets windy, but, you know, whatever. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's 1 out. We're in the second inning, tied at 1. And Höhlein chops 1 foul up the third baseline. We'll do it again. David Wallace out of the Disciples dugout to retrieve that ball. Ondra, the right-hander, gets the sign from Thorpe and starts his windup. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. And a little ground ball sliced on the ground to Klaus Nikolici at first.
Klaus Nikolici had to move 2 steps to get to that ball, so it was the easiest play he gets all season.
That was a very awkward swing by Höhlein. Let's take a look at this pitch, and I wonder if this is the result of some, you know, work that Ondra's been doing, because he's gotten several of those off-balance sort of throw the bat at the ball swings today, and that's not something I've seen from him before. I wonder if he's tweaked one of his pitches. Here's a pitch inside to Merlin Bendlin. 1 ball and no strikes. Bendlin has had limited action so far this year. Only
26 at-bats, 115 batting average, 148 on base percentage.
There's a pop fly out of play, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike now to him.
These off-balance swings from the Mannheim Tornados, it's just, I think it's promising to see for the Haar Disciples that they went fishing for a couple of times.
Yeah, and also for Tomáš Ondra, of course, he's given up a lot of hits and hard contact in his recent outings. There's another one served into center field, but it's going to drop for a base hit off the bat of Bendlin. That was another weak swing. And sometimes you hit it right to the right spot, base hit for Bendlin, and that will turn the lineup over.
And I jinxed that at bat.
So Dominik Hüpfner, who struck out to start the ball game, with Bendlin on first base. Bendlin has only attempted 1 stolen base, and he was caught. So, and with Thomas de Wolf on deck, probably not going to try to get thrown out here. Very short lead as Hüpfner swings and pops it up right field. Dinsky over a few steps and towards the line, makes the catch, and the inning is over. So, no runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left on base at the end of 1.5 innings of play here in Haar. We are tied at 1 between the Tornadoes and the Haar Disciples. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We are back for the bottom of the second inning here in Haar, as this ball game tied at 1 between the Tornadoes and the Disciples. Both teams scoring runs in their respective halves of the first inning. Gianfranco Rizzo back out to the mound, and he's going to deal with Lucas Steinlein, David Dinsky, and David Wallace. 6, 7, and 8 in the order. And the first pitch is sliced foul out of play, 1 strike to count.
Lucas Steinlein with a 227 batting average this season, 288 on base percentage. He had 15 hits in 66 at-bats.
Now he's a guy who, when he's right, he's really driving the ball to right center field. He's got a good opposite field line drive swing. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Fastball on the inside corner. 1-1. That's a good pitch from Rizzo. Rizzo's been with the Tornadoes the past, I think, 3 years. Here's the 0-2. Curve, and it's a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You know what else is interesting, Andreas? In that first inning, the 2 hits that the Disciples got, that's more than they got against Rizzo in the entirety of 8 innings in his previous outing against them. Here's the 1-2. Hard ground ball to short. Nielsen a few steps to his right, fields and fires to first offline, and Steinlein is safe at first base. See how that's going to be scored. Good throw would have got him.
It was doable.
Yeah, so, and you have to figure Nielsen would tell you himself he should have thrown him out. Nielsen normally plays on the right side of the field, but I think with the release of Marinez, he's been pressed into duty playing shortstop.
I think that's a play I have to make from shortstop.
And so that's going to bring up David Dinsky. And the pitch is a strike. Steinlein had faked, and I think they did give an E6 on that. There's an error on the scoreboard. Steinlein, by the way, in the stolen base department.
3 from 3.
Yeah, he's one of the Disciples' runners. Dinsky is a guy, he's also got a pretty low batting average, but he's had some big hits of late.
549 OPS. And a 282 on base percentage.
Yeah, there goes Steinlein, throw to second base, not in time. It was a curveball down and away. Dinsky, I think, swung and missed at it. Wasn't a great pitch for Juan Martin to throw on, and Steinlein has stolen second base. Let's take a look at this on the replay. Maybe Dinsky checked his swing. No, he did not, as Ozzie Scharf signals 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes, but Steinlein, the go-ahead run out on second base. The pitch fouled to the screen. Dinsky not exactly cutting down on his swing with an 0-2.
He goes for the fences, you say?
Yeah, well, he was trying to hit it hard somewhere. Luke Steinlein, good speed on second base. Rizzo comes set, the 0-2. Breaking ball down and away in the dirt. Good block by Martin. The Tornadoes come into this game. They are in second place with a record of 13-4. The top 4 teams in the Bundesliga South are very scrunched up together. You have Mainz, Mannheim, Heidenheim, and Regensburg. And the first 3 of those teams, I mean, all 4 of them, they're between 12 and 14 wins. Swing and a foul right to the screen, and Dinsky really letting that one fly.
Right now, the Mainz Athletics are playing against the Saint Louis Hornets. They won the first game 12-7, and now are winning 7-3 in the top of the 6th inning right now.
So they might have 16 wins by the end of today. 1-2, Steinlein on second. Here's the pitch to Dinsky. Fastball called, strike 3 on the inside corner.
And tonight we will see Heidenheim at Regensburg, and tomorrow afternoon Haar in Mannheim and Heidenheim in and against Regensburg as well. So two good matchups.
Yeah, Heidenheim Regensburg for sure is going to be a good one. That was a nice pitch by Gianfranco Rizzo. Dinsky took a couple of wild hacks, and then he just came right back in there with another pitch. So now the hitter is David Wallace. Designated hitter, and he looks at strike 1 on the outside corner.
David Wallace with a 190 batting average, 292 on base percentage, 238 slugging, 21 at bats. But
yeah, he's another of the Disciples' injured list victims. He's only recently come back. There's 0-1. Little bit low. But Rizzo, he really has good movement on his fastball. You can see like when it comes flying out of his hand.
Yeah.
It's got zip for sure. We're tied at 1. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday evening wherever you may be. 1 ball, 1 strike. Steinlein dancing around off second. The pitch, curveball, tapped weakly on the ground, foul. One-handed by Paco Garcia, who, by the way, wanted me to give a shout-out to his kids, Rafael and Julius. Schöne Grüße von deine Papa. So, don't forget to eat your Wheaties, kids. And it's cooling off suddenly.
Yeah.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Wallace swung about 5 minutes too late for that pitch. And down he goes. He was looking for something else. The ball was already in the glove by the time he brought the bat through the zone. So Rizzo, after allowing the stolen base to Steinlein, has struck out the next 2. And now Titus von Kopf, 17-year-old, but playing very well. And von Kopf takes a strike. And von Kopf has come through in big situations offensively for the Disciples.
Can I say that I'm a huge Boston Red Sox fan?
Sure, you just did.
And they have Dennis Eckersley as the color commentator.
Yeah, it's time to party. That's his big phrase.
He always says the pitch got hair. He has hair.
It's got hair on it. Yeah, I've heard him say that. That's an Eckersley phrase. There's the pitch. And a line drive base hit to left center field. Steinlein around third, getting waved home. Hoofner comes up throwing, and it is not in time. On to second base, the throw goes into center field. There's nobody there. Von Kopf on his way to third. He's being waved around, and he is going to score a Little League home run. The Disciples lead 3-1. And on the play, the shortstop Nilsson had run to cover as there was going to be a pickoff play, and that ball was lined right to the spot that Nilsson had vacated. So a confluence of things combined to give the Disciples a 3-1 lead. Watch Nilsson break, and the line drive goes right over where he was. So Von Kopf gets a base hit and a run batted in. And then he comes around to score on the error.
So it's scored as a double.
Yeah, that's going to be a double, I would think, for Von Kopf. But that was certainly a little crazy. Simon Lechner now with 2 outs in the inning, showing bunt. He was looking to bunt for a base hit. The pitch was outside for a ball. Nobody on.
Titus von Kopf can tell his grandchildren in 50 years, I once hit a inside the park home run. Nobody will check the box score. So.
Well, you never know. There's the pitch on the way to Lechner, and it's outside corner. 2-1 the count now. Scoreboard has 1-1, but I'm pretty sure there was another pitch in there. And Rizzo deals, breaking ball, tapped foul backwards. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, I'd mentioned Von Kopf had come through big with the bat. And that time, he just kept on running. Disciples 3, Tornadoes 1. We're in the second inning. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Rizzo actually struck out the side, but it was still an inning he would rather forget. The Disciples get 2 runs, 1 earned, on only 1 base hit. There were 2 errors in the inning and nobody left on base. And at the end of 2 full innings of play, it is the Disciples 3, the Tornadoes 1. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. So we are back. It's going to be the top of the third inning. And Tomáš Ondra now has a 3-1 lead as the Disciples getting 2 runs that last inning. And it's going to be 2, 3, and 4. Thomas de Wolf, Mitch Nilsson, as de Wolf swings and fouls one back. My goodness, when he swings, the earth shakes sometimes. Shakes even more when he really hits it, too. Anyway, de Wolf, Nilsson, and David Candelas. This is the power of the order, and they can get those runs back very quickly. De Wolf looks at a ball low. There's only one fielder on the left side of the infield. That is Nathan Thomas.
But you had your presentation. You were saying that you have to have it in
1 ball and 1 strike the count to him. You know he would like to atone for his error. And he swings and fouls it away. It was de Wolf who actually caught the relay throw and then wheeled and fired it into right center field. And it nearly went all the way to the fence. And that allowed Van Kopf to score. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to him. And that pitch just missed the inside corner. The second baseman, Simon Lechner, is 15 feet on the grass in short right field. Two and 2 on Thomas de Wolf. The pitch from Ondra. Outside, ball 3. De Wolf walked his first time and came around to score. The Tornadoes run is an unearned run. Payoff pitch. Hit hard on the ground on 1 hop, right past Nathan Thomas off of his glove. And de Wolf will reach. The ball was hit right to Thomas, who was the only guy on that side of the field, and he still got it past him.
We did see that exact play in the first inning.
Yep. Except this time, instead of Titus van Kopf, it's Nathan Thomas. And we'll see if that's going to be scored an error. I mean, if you're going to call the one that Candelas hit an error, then that one's got to be an error too. But, you know.
Nathan Thomas had a similar play in the first inning, and that was called as a hit, I think.
Yeah, he had the ground ball in the first inning. Wasn't hit quite as hard. So, Mitch Nilsson now, who fly to right field his first time, is the tying run. And he squares to bunt, takes a strike. The left side of the infield, again, is, you know, not a full overshift, but they were all deep. And I guess if you have a guy like David Candelas on deck, you can take some base runners. There's the 0-1. Way outside, 1 ball and 1 strike on Mitch Nilsson. Nobody out. De Wolf on first base, being held on by Nicolici. And the 1-1 pitch. Just missed outside. 2 balls and 1 strike now. Close pitch. Ondra trying to stay away from these powerful left-handed hitters.
This lineup, this middle of the lineup from the Mannheim Tornados is just so impressive, and you can almost feel how careful Tomáš Ondra is.
And there's a fly ball well hit to deep right center field. Back is the center fielder, Basel, to make a nice running catch in the alleyway in right center field. Nilsson again, I think, hitting that ball off the end of the bat.
Yeah, he did.
Well, they gave de Wolf a base hit, by the way. So there's 1 away. And now David Candelas will step up to the plate. Candelas, he of 10 home runs. Now, it is important to point out that the left field fence in Mannheim is about 3 area codes closer to home plate than the one here in Haar is. But either way, these guys can hit the ball. The stats are maybe a little bit magnified, but really not that much. 10 home runs is 10 home runs. And Candelas is certainly a threat. Hit the ball extremely hard his first time up. De Wolf still on first base, infield back. They would love some sort of ground ball to turn 2 on. The pitch, off-speed pitch, and he drops it over the outside corner. Good pitch from Tomáš Ondra.
Yeah, great pitch from. And he wants to stay away as well now from.
You know, sometimes the best thing you can do if you're a pitcher facing a really good hitting team, a finish that thought after the next pitch. There's the 0-1. Popped up a mile high right at home plate. Thorpe throws the mask away. Can he find it? Yes, he can. He's got it. Out number 2, and Candelas slams the bat down in disgust.
In German you say, da lag Schnee drauf.
Ja, da lag Schnee drauf. Das hast du mir erzählt vor ein paar Jahren. Da lag Schnee drauf. Ball was so high it comes down with snow on it. And so 2 outs, and what I was going to say, after Ondra threw that first pitch off speed pitch, when sometimes you're a guy, you're on the mound, and you know you're facing an extremely potent offensive lineup, such as the Mannheim Tornados, you, instead of trying to gear up and throw harder, you take a little off and throw a little bit softer, and you can mess with their timing. Pitching is really all about messing with timing, as Lucas Dickman steps up to the plate and looks at a strike on the inside corner.
And this first pitch strike is just so important for Tomáš Ondra. Now he can attack the hitter, and he just has the first strike, and I think this gives him confidence for the next few pitches.
Yeah, especially if he feels he can throw any of his pitches at any time in the count. 2 outs, DeWolf on first base, and the 0-1. Strike, fastball at the knees in the outside corner. Dickman was looking for something else on that one.
That was good pitching. Was it scored a single from
Yes. That fastball is high. That's what I was just checking. Dickman, his first time, hit that little ground ball to Nathan Thomas, who didn't field it cleanly, but it was scored a base hit as Thomas had to range pretty wide to his left, and the ball hit out of his glove. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Wolf on first base, 2 outs. 3rd inning, and the pitch is up high, and the count now even, 2-2. Well, we mentioned the Tornadoes with 39 home runs on the season. The Haar Disciples have 7. There's a 2-2. Big chopper down the third base line, and it hits the base and bounces over Nathan Thomas into left field for a base hit. Thomas to Wolf racing to third base. The throw there not in time, and taking second on the play is Lucas Dickman. So that's going to be a double, I think.
That was just bad luck for Nathan Thomas.
Yeah, that ball took a kangaroo bounce. Let's take a look at this on the replay. It would have been a very tough play for Thomas to throw out Lucas Dickman from that deep at third. And once the ball kangarooed over his head, there was no chance to throw him out. And DeWolf, to his credit, was running with the Jets on full the entirety of that play and motored all the way to third base. And because he made it to third, the trail runner Lucas Dickman was able to motor into second base. I don't think that Dickman was thinking 2 out of the box. And so now Jonathan Wagner, a base hit, could tie this ball game. It's 3-1 Haar. Wagner, his first time, grounded into a fielder's choice. Ondra has 2 outs in the inning. He just needs to get Wagner, but a base hit could tie this game. Dickman with good speed at second base, representing the tying run. Here's the next one on the way. Pop fly foul, and strike 1.
Let's go and have a ball.
Well, every game the Disciples have played has been a battle. They have not really had any cakewalks.
Even the games against Saarlouis.
No, the Saarlouis played very well against the Disciples. 0-1. And the pitch. Fastball just missed a little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ozzie Scharf has not been calling that high strike today.
No, looked good to me, that pitch.
1 ball, 1 strike. Popped up, foul territory. Thorpe giving it a look, and that ball is going to be over the fence on the other side. For strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes now.
But who are we to criticize the home plate umpire for the strike zone?
Now, Ozzie Scharf is one of the most respected umpires in the league. He actually makes the trip from Linz, Austria. About a 2.5-hour drive. He was involved in the final series also a couple of years ago in Bonn. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Jonathan Wagner. There are 2 outs. DeWolf at third, Lucas Dickman at second. 3-1 Disciples. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball just missed the outside corner.
Another close one.
Yeah, 2-2. Ondra did a little spin thinking he was going to get the call.
You see this? Yeah. Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop, Von Kopf. Plays it off his chest, fields and throws to first, and he just got him, and that ends the inning. No runs. Thomas de Wolf, a little smile on his face as he crossed home plate. Titus Von Kopf showing off his arm there on that one.
Good game from Titus Von Kopf right now.
Yeah, and a good game between both of these teams as Tomasz Ondra pitches out of a 2-out jam. We will go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Disciples 3, the Tornadoes 1. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Disciples lead the Tornadoes by a score of 3-1. And Gianfranco Rizzo's 38th pitch of the game is a curveball that is up high to Cedric Bossel. Bossel, Will Thorpe, and Nate Sean Thomas, 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Bossel was showing bunt. And the next one, didn't mean to, and he fouls it off to the right. 0-2. Rizzo, first pitch, a little looping curveball, and then he really whipped that fastball in there. 1-1. Swing and a miss. I think I misspoke before saying the count was 0-2. The count was actually 1-1. Now the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Rizzo's 1-2. Struck him out swinging, 2nd time.
That was an impressive strikeout from Rizzo.
Yeah.
It's not affected by the 2 runs in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, he got Bossel on the same pitch the first time, so he figured if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that will bring up Will Thorpe, who doubled and scored on Nate Sean Thomas's triple. The Disciples leading by a score of 3-1. And the right-hander Rizzo is on the mound waiting for Thorpe to get in the box. And now Thorpe has both feet in there. Rizzo's ready. And here comes the pitch on the way. Thorpe bunts one down the 3rd baseline. Going to be a tough play. Barehanded by Dickman. Throw to first is high, and it goes into right field in foul territory. Thorpe off to the races. He's going to stop at 2nd base right there. A big turn as the ball was retrieved in right field by David Candelas. And another error. This one will be an E5. Might also be a base hit for Thorpe. Let's take a look at the replay, see if Thorpe would have beaten it. Anyway, it's a beautiful bunt. And so now Thorpe is at 2nd base. He dropped it down, deadened it on the grass. I think he was going to be safe anyway, so I would call that a base hit plus an E5. So. And now Nate Sean Thomas, who tripled his first time. And the pitch is low and inside. The Disciples, by the way, come into this game with a record of 8-10. And, you know, it seemed as if all their playoff hopes were fading. And they certainly still have a long road to go, but they're not out of it. This is an important game. Curveball in the dirt. Nice block by Martin as Thomas was showing bunt.
And I don't think we are used to so many errors from the Mannheim Tornados. Just throwing errors have just sloppy play, I think.
Yeah, it has not been a Picasso so far today. The pitch is a fastball up and in. 3 balls and no strikes from Rizzo. And now Ozzie Scharf wants to dust off home plate. Yeah, there have been, well, the Tornadoes made 2 errors last inning. They have 1 this inning. The Disciples have an error. So we're only in the 3rd inning. There have been 4 errors already in the game between the 2 teams. Disciples leading 3-1. 3 balls and no strikes on Thomas. The pitch is high, ball 4. And so that will bring up Klaus Nicolici. And Thorpe, by the way, was credited with a single and then went to second on the error. Nicolici hit a pop-up his first time, 0 for 1. He's one of the Disciples hitters who has power. The Disciples have 3 players that have 2 home runs each, and all 3 of them are involved in the action right now. Thorpe, Thomas, and now Klaus Nicolici. Klaus had a very good weekend against Saarlouis 2 weeks ago. Here's the pitch. There's a line shot down the left field line. That's a base hit towards the corner. Thorpe is going to score. The ball goes all the way to the wall. Thomas is being held. He slides and falls halfway between third. Can he get back in time? Yes, he can, because Lucas Dickman didn't realize he had fallen down. That is a double for Klaus Nicolici, and the Disciples lead 4-1. But they had a chance to get Nathan Thomas on third base after his feet went out from under him.
The signal to stay on third base came a little bit too late, so Nathan Thomas slipped and just fell over, and he had much work to do to get back on third base, and he was a little bit lucky that.
Well, he was lucky that Lucas Dickman had his back to the play and didn't realize that he was so far off the base. I think Dickman had assumed that Thomas was going to score.
Yeah, I think so too, yeah.
So the Disciples lead 4-1. They have 1 out, and now Luke Steinlein. And the infield at the corners comes in, and a curved ball is on the corner for a strike. That's a good pitch from Rizzo. Steinlein would love to hit a ground ball to either the second baseman or the shortstop. That would drive home a run or a fly ball. As the pitch comes in, fouled to the screen. Steinlein, a big cut, 0-2. I think Steinlein was looking for the fastball on that. We've seen a couple of times in this game that Rizzo will throw that big slow curveball on the first pitch and then come back with his good fastball up. Steinlein was, I think, ready for it that time. 4-1 Disciples. There's 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. The pitch. Curveball just missed inside, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good ball game so far. A lot of action. Well, the Disciples probably breathing a sigh of relief that Nathan Thomas didn't hurt himself when his feet went out from under him.
He seemed to have to be a little bit hurt. But
curveball swung on and missed, and Steinlein strikes out. That's an important out. It's the second out. And so now it will take a base hit from David Dinsky to bring home another run. Steinlein swinging over the top of that overhand curveball. Second and third, Nicolici, the trail runner. Fastball is high, ball 1. Dinsky struck out looking his first time. Goes down and checks the signs from Paco Garcia. Nathan Thomas taking his lead in foul territory. Second and third, 2 down, 4-1 Disciples. And the 1-0. Fastball strike. This one at the top of the zone on the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Was it the first high strike that the home plate umpire called?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think it's the first at the top of the zone that I remember, yes. The 1-1. Curveball is low. There's some balloons flying around in left center field now. 2 balls and 1 strike. They're about to fly past Moritz Hürlein. Wonder if he has to chase the fly ball in that direction, if that might interfere. 2-1 on David Dinsky. Here it comes. Breaking ball taken low, and the count 3 balls and a strike now. That time he was throwing that breaking ball down and out of the zone, hoping Dinsky would chase it. David now with a hitter's count 3-1. Rizzo set the pitch. Fastball right at the knees, strike 2. That was a good pitch. Full count now. Nathan Thomas at third, Klaus Nikolici at second. There are 2 outs, a run is in. Disciples lead 4-1. And the payoff pitch to David Dinsky coming right now. Foul to the screen, will do it again. Dinsky stays alive. Bleibt am Leben.
That's not the best expression.
No?
Not the best translation. Am Leben bleiben. That's not. That doesn't sound too good.
Is that too dark?
It's a little bit too dark.
Too dark. Okay, good. Thank you. Don't want to be dark. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the pitch. Curveball is high, ball 4, and the bases are loaded for David Wallace.
I would translate it as hält sich im At-Bat.
Hält sich im At-Bat. Yeah. He holds his spot in the batter's box. So the base is loaded, 2 outs, and Rizzo, who came into the inning, I think, having thrown 37 pitches, has now thrown 57 pitches. So at the absolute worst, the Disciples are forcing him to get his pitch count up. David Wallace at the plate, who struck out his first time. Would love to get a 2-out hit here and drive home a run or 2, or 3, I guess. Here's the pitch. And he popped it up, straight up, middle of the infield. Lucas Dickman, the third baseman at the edge of the grass, makes the catch, and the inning is over. The Disciples, however, do get 1 run on, let's see, 2 hits. 1 run on 2 hits. There was an error, and there were 3 left on base. We go to the 4th inning here in Haar. It is the Disciples 4, the Mannheim Tornados 1. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the top of the 4th inning. The Haar Disciples leading the Mannheim Tornadoes by a score of 4-1. My name is Tim Collins, and I'm also joined today by my cohort, Andreas Thies. First pitch is swung on and missed by Juan Martin. 7-8-9 in the order for the Mannheim Tornadoes against Tomasz Ondra. 1 strike on Martin, who grounded out his first time. And the next pitch on the way, fouled away, and the count 0-2. Just want to remind you folks, in case you didn't realize, if you want to catch up on all the goings on in the Bundesliga, baseball Bundesliga, that is, of course, you can tune in to Swing and a Miss, our podcast.
On meinsportpodcast.de.
That's right, meinsportpodcast.de. There's a line drive, left field, and right there to make the catch is Lucas Steinlein. The ball was hit on a rope off the bat of Juan Martin, but it's the first out. Yeah, it's the podcast. We've been doing it since last year. And
Since last year, yeah.
you can find it also on the homepage of the Baseball Bundesliga. They have linked to it right there. And, yeah.
And you can look for it in any podcatcher you use. So it's easy to find. Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah.
And you can also find us on Twitter if you want to tweet questions or complaints at us.
And in every podcast, we mention the same player from the Doren Wild Farmers.
Oh, yeah. Edvardas Metutsevicius. Question is, can you spell it?
Can I spell it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
I think I can, too. 1 ball, no strikes on Moritz Hürlein. Hürlein, his first time grounded out. And this pitch zu tief, hat den Boden getroffen. 1 Ball, 1 Strike. Sollen wir jetzt auf Deutsch, weil wir über unseren Baseball-Podcast geredet haben?
Können wir gerne machen.
Okay, wir machen das Inning auf Deutsch. Für euch. Oder nicht für euch. Für uns. 2 Balls, kein Strike. Und das ist ein Foul Ball. 2 Balls, 1 Strike jetzt. Moritz Hürlein, der Left Fielder für die Mannheim Tornados. Rechtshänder, Schlagmann. Tomasz Ondra, 60 Pitches bis jetzt.
Bislang ist das wirklich eine sehr, sehr konzentrierte Leistung von Tomasz Ondra. Du hast es eben gesagt, der Pitch to Contact. Und bislang findet er den Kontakt, beziehungsweise...
Aber nicht bei den Pitch. Swing and Miss von Hürlein. 2 Balls und 2 Strikes. Aber Ondra hat ein bisschen was geändert heute. Er hat mehr Off-Speed-Pitches als Anfang zum At-Bat geworfen. Und er hat die auch sehr gut platziert. Es ist so abhängig von Location. Fastball zu hoch, Ball 3.
Er hatte gleich im ersten Inning 1, 2 Breaking Balls, die funktioniert haben, und seitdem hat er das Selbstvertrauen, die wirklich immer wieder zu werfen. Und er bekommt die Strikes vom Homeplate Umpire.
Ja, das ist auch manchmal der Fall, wenn früh im Spiel ein paar gute Curveballs geworfen sind, dass die Schlagmänner für die Tornados werden das immer erinnern. Das ist ein Pop-Up. Und gefangen von Shortstop, Titus von Kopf. Ganz leicht zum Outs, Nummer 2. Und jetzt am Schlag Merlin Bendlin, der 9. im Schlagreihenfolge für die Mannheim Tornados. Bendlin hat ein Single geschlagen sein ersten Mal am Schlag. Und dann wurde auf Base gelassen. Das war im 2. Inning. Die Mannheim Tornados haben einen Run im 1. Inning gescored und seit dann nichts mehr. Die Disciples haben in alle 3 Innings gescored. Ein in den ersten, 2 in den zweiten und ein letztes Inning. There's a fly ball, left field, and Luke Steinlein fängt ihn. Sehr, sehr schnelles Inning. Und wir gehen jetzt im unteren Hälfte des 4. Innings. 4:1 führen die Haar Disciples über die Mannheim Tornados. Sie schauen zu. I don't know how to say, you're watching. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the bottom of the 4th inning. Sollen wir weitermachen auf Deutsch, Andreas?
No, that's
ein halbes Inning. Titus von Kopf, erster am Schlag, erste Pitch, zu tief, Ball Nummer 1. Gianfranco Rizzo bis jetzt 59 Pitches, 38 davon waren Strikes. 1-0 Pitch. Ja, knapp verpasst die Außenkante. 2 Balls und kein Strike jetzt.
Titus von Kampf hatte ein sehr, sehr spektakuläres Spiel bislang. Hatte zwischendurch einige schwere Plays. Hatte auch einen Error, glaube ich, oder?
Ja.
Und dann hat er...
Jetzt hat er 2 Base-Hits. Durch die Locke auf die linke Seite des Infields zwischen Shortstop und Third Baseman. Und ein Lead-Off-Single für Titus von Kampf.
Nicht ganz so spektakulär wie ein Little League Home Run, aber er wird es nehmen.
Schauen wir mal den letzten Pitch. Also Gianfranco Rizzo, dieses Mal eine komplett andere Leistung von ihm. Als Simon Lechner jetzt in der Battersbox einsteigt. Titus von Kampf an ersten Base und Lechner hat Bunt angezeigt. Ball Nummer 1 zu tief. Von Kopf 2 für 2 mit Stolen Base Versuch. Und jetzt geht er los, der Pitch, Foul Ball, Hit and Run. Simon Lechner hat den Ball aus dem Handschuh geschlagen, quasi. Ein Ball, ein Strike.
Dieses kleine Video hast du ja auch gesehen mit dem Schlagmann, der auf den Pitch wartet und dann
Ja.
den Foulball schlägt und in der Sekunde.
Line Drive, Right Field, Base Hit für Simon Lechner. Titus von Kampf rückt ein Base vor und nichts mehr. So läuft er auch 1 und 2.
Das gerade noch zu Ende zu erzählen. Der Schlagmann versucht gerade zu schlagen und schlägt den Foulball und in der Sekunde sieht man halt, wie jemand von der Third Base Richtung Homebase
Es wäre ein
slidet.
Steal of Home gewesen.
Und er hat sich sehr, sehr geärgert. Ich musste sehr lachen, als ich das erste Mal gesehen habe.
Also Julius Spann jetzt raus aus dem Mannheimer Dugout. Und es gibt Bewegungen in der Bullpen für die Tornados. Als Gianfranco Rizzo jetzt ein paar Probleme. Der hat mindestens einen Run abgegeben in die ersten 3 Innings. Und hier im Anfang, unteren Hälfte des 4. Innings, die ersten 2 Schlagmänner per Base-Hit auf Base gekommen sind. Und Cedric Basel, schon 2-mal Strikeout gehabt, ist jetzt am Schlag. Und ich glaube, dass in der Bullpen Sam Holland macht sich bereit. So, falls irgendwas weiter passiert, wir werden vielleicht einen Pitching-Wechsel sehen. Cedric Basel, Bunt angezeigt, Curveball zu high, zu hoch, zu high.
Zu hoch,
Zu hoch, high. Ganglish Baseball Commentary. Ein Ball, kein Strike. Und jetzt nochmal Bunt und nochmal zu hoch. Diesmal habe ich die richtiges Wort ausgesucht.
Ja.
Das richtiges Wort.
Gianfranco Rizzo hat heute Probleme. Er trifft die Strike Zone nicht. Wenn er die Strike Zone trifft, bekommt er Hits. Dann wird er zweimal von seiner Defense im Stich gelassen.
Basel swingt und schlägt ein Flyball ins Right Field. Die Runners werden taggen. David Candelas mit dem Catch. Wirf an dritten Base und safe, als der Wurf ein bisschen ungenau war. Das war ein schöner Stopp von Lucas Dickman. Das war wirklich ein starker Wurf von David Candelas, aber ein bisschen Glück. Und Titus von Kampf safe an dritten Base. Und auch aufmerksam von Simon Lechner, der auch vorgerückt.
Oh, das war aber sehr, sehr knapp an der Third Base. Ich hätte gedacht, der wäre aus gewesen.
Ja, das ist ein Tag-Play. Es muss ein Tag-Play sein. Und der Ball war zu weit weg und er konnte den Tag nicht runterbringen. So, yeah, that was a great throw from Kendall, so I'm just going to switch back right now.
Yeah, it's okay.
And the throw, if it was on line, it would have had Von Kopf by about 6 feet. And so, no sacrifice bunt, but the result is the same. Oh, sorry, Andreas. So they're going to intentionally walk Will Thorpe. So he is on base. And the bases are going to be loaded for Nathan Thomas, who, by the way, has a Grand Slam home run this year. Bases loaded.
Before this game, he had a batting average from 265, 393 on base percentage. So it's quite risky to have him on at the plate.
Batting left-handed, they're hoping for a double play. Not exactly the easiest guy to double up. And the pitch is an off-speed pitch up high for ball 1. So the Disciples with a chance to really put a crooked number up on the scoreboard. Corner infielders are up. Fastball strike, letter high over the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Bases loaded. Von Kopf is at third. Lechner at second. Thorpe on first. He was intentionally walked. 1-1 on Nathan Thomas, the pitch. Inside, that one came close to hitting him. And the count 2 balls and a strike. Only 1 out in the inning.
This is what you call high leverage pitches, isn't it?
Yes. Disciples leading 4-1. The 2-1 pitch. Slicing fly ball left field. This is playable for Herline. Racing near the line. He makes a leaping catch. Von Kopf will score. Everybody else has to go back. The Disciples take a 5-1 lead on the sacrifice fly. Nice running catch by Moritz Herline in left field.
Great catch from Moritz Herline.
So Von Kopf scores, everybody else stays put. As it looked off the bat like that ball might drop in, and Lechner was going halfway. And so now Klaus Nicolici, who doubled to drive home a run his last time. The Disciples lead 5-1. Nicolici with the number 99 standing in there. You can see Simon Lechner with 72. He's on second base. First and second, as Will Thorpe is on first. The pitch to Nicolici is a curve, and it's way high. Well, Rizzo's breaking ball has somewhat vacated the premises. He had better feel for it earlier in the game, and really, you know, a couple of defensive miscues. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, that one is high. But it's just a different look from Rizzo today.
There's just no pitch he can go back to, just the one sure pitch he can go back to right now.
He's thrown a couple of good curveballs, but it's been inconsistent. And that's just part of being a pitcher. Sometimes you have days like that. There's the fastball high, 3-0, and this is also probably why there was activity in the bullpen. You know, sometimes the frustration can build and build and build, and Julius Spann and the Tornadoes don't want to see it boil over. 3-0, the pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. Now Nicolici will be swinging for sure. You have runners on first and second. There are 2 down in the inning. A run is in. The Disciples lead 5-1. They've scored in every inning of this game. And a line shot, base hit right center field. Lechner is going to score. That ball goes all the way to the warning track. Thorpe being waved around. He's coming to the plate, and he will score a 2-run double for Klaus Nicolici. It is 7-1 Disciples.
Klaus, in sein Bett läuft heute richtig heiß. 2 RBI double.
Nicolici's eighth double of the season, and it was a good one.
Yeah, he's been crushing the ball. 3-1 fastball, get me over fastball, and Klaus has just been driving the ball up the gap. And that is going to be it for Gianfranco Rizzo. As Julius Spann doing the slow walk out to the mound, we are going to have a pitching change. The Disciples leading 7-1 here in the 4th inning. And we will take a short break. We will be right back. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. So the new pitcher for the Mannheim Tornadoes is Mitch Hillert, a member of the national team of Ireland, left-hander who has seen a little bit of action so far this year. And the first man he's going to face with Klaus Nikolici on second base is Lucas Steinlein. Hillert, 13 innings. He may have over 6, and his first pitch is outside. Ball 1. So Gianfranco Rizzo did not have it. He goes 3 2/3. 8 hits, 7 runs so far. Only 5 are earned. And he's responsible for Nikolici out on second base. The pitch popped up, foul territory, out of play. That's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to him. Rizzo had 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. He threw 76 pitches. Only 46 were strikes. So far, 7 runs, 5 earned for the right-hander. Well, what a difference from the last performance, where he absolutely dominated.
And what a difference from the last performances in the whole season.
There's a pitch on the way. There's a big chopper left side, gloved by Dickman coming across. Fires to first, a little bit low, and it's juggled by DeWolf. Everybody's safe. And the shoddy defensive play continues. We'll see how that's going to be scored. Runners now on first and third. It was a good play by Lucas Dickman to get to that ball. I thought for a minute when that ball bounced so high in the air, it might go past him. And the throw was low, and DeWolf was able to stop it, but then couldn't come up with it cleanly. So hasn't been officially scored yet. As David Dinsky steps up, and the pitch is fouled to the screen. Dinsky has been taking some massive hacks today. Let me tell you, he's walked and struck out. And the next one on the way, there's a big curve high and outside from Mitch Hillert. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dinsky. The Disciples scored a run in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and they've got, how many have they scored this inning? 3 this inning. They've scored 3 so far in this inning. Steinlein at first. The pitch is popped up, foul territory. Martin gives it a look, and it's over the screen and over the crowd and somewhere in a tree. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Dinsky is hacking right now.
Yeah, he is letting it fly, that's for sure.
Like way an umbrella under the trees. Yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And there goes Steinlein. The pitch swung on and missed, and that's strike 3. The inning is over. Steinlein, by the way, had been ruled as having reached on an error. So Dinsky strikes out. The inning is over, but the Disciples send 8 batters to the plate, and they get 3 runs on 3 runs on 3 hits. There was another error, and there were 2 left on base. So we go to the 5th inning here in Haar. It is the Disciples 7, the Mannheim Tornadoes 1. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD.
Ich hoffe, dass der Gewinner gleich da ist. So, magst du vorlesen, wer gewonnen hat?
Der Name ist Gegenfortner. Die Losnummer ist die 115219.
You won. Fantastic win. So, okay, wir machen weiter. Dankeschön. Wir sehen uns gleich wieder.
Welcome back to the top of the 5th inning. The Disciples 7, the Tornadoes 1. As Tomáš Ondra is going to go back out on the mound. He's pitched 4 innings, allowed 4 hits, 1 run. That run was unearned. 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Typical Ondra line, low strikeouts, low walks. And the first man he deals with is that ball is crushed deep to left field. Way back it goes. It is gone. That's a home run off the bat of Dominik Hüpfner. And it is 7-2. Well, right away, first pitch swinging. So Dominik Hüpfner got a hold of that first pitch. Let's take a look at this on the replay. Now, that was a no-doubter. Hüpfner's first home run of the year. He had only 3 extra base hits in 56 at-bats, and he knocks that one out of the park. And that was a no-doubter. So, it's a 7-2 ball game. Don't for a minute think that the Tornadoes are out of this game. Hüpfner, not even one of the big home run hitters. That was the 40th home run of the season for the Tornadoes. And DeWolf takes the ball low and outside. Thomas DeWolf has walked and scored, and he has singled. And very nearly scored, were it not for a good play from Titus van Kopf. 1 ball, no strikes to count to him. The pitch, swing, and a foul at the plate, 1-1. Thomas DeWolf, another guy who can touch those buildings out beyond the fence in right field if he gets a hold of one. One ball, 1 strike to count to him. Ondra, the right-hander, kicks in, deals. And he missed low and inside, 2 balls and a strike. I've watched pitchers from all over the European continent trying to attack Thomas DeWolf, and the game plan is always the same. They pretty much pitch around him if there's nobody on base. The pitch swung on and fouled to the screen, 2-2. You're really flirting with danger if you throw off-speed pitches down and into this guy. He can really he can wait back and flick his wrists and still hit it 400 feet. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Thomas DeWolf. And here it comes. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. DeWolf not exactly thrilled as he drops the bat and looks skyward. And that is the 2nd strikeout of the game. Let's take a look at where this pitch was. As DeWolf most certainly thought it was low. That's the first out here in the 5th inning. See Thorpe setting up inside and the pitch coming in. Hit the glove. So there's 1 away. And that'll bring up Mitch Nielsen. Nielsen has flied to right twice, and the pitch is high. Nielsen, switch hitter, batting from the left side. If you think back to last year at the end of the Bundesliga season, he was injured during the final game of the finale series. And he rips one, caught on a line by the first baseman, Klaus Nicolici. Klaus went down to a knee, didn't have much time to move. And he takes a double away from Mitch Nielsen, who frustratedly heads back towards the dugout. I was going to mention how Nielsen suffered a very, very tough injury at the end of the year last year, and then he missed almost all of the ABL season with the Brisbane Bandits. And he told me before the game that he realized that he was finally back to 100% when he could bat left-handed. And so now David Candelas with 2 down, and the pitch is a fastball strike. The thing that Ondra can do when he's pitching with a 5-run lead is he can be aggressive in the strike zone. There's the 0-1. Tapped foul at the plate, 0-2 on Candelas.
And you have to think everything falls in the place from the Disciples right now. 2nd out.
Yeah, that ball was ripped off the bat of Nielsen. Nielsen's last fly ball also, there are several ballparks that would have been a home run in, but not here. Here's the 0-1, 0-2 rather. That one is drilled, and it is going to disappear. That ball is flying out of here. David Candelas with his 11th home run of the year 2 home runs in the inning, and it's 7-3, and that's what the Mannheim Tornadoes do. They pulverize baseballs. That ball was sent into orbit.
It was just crushed. you could hear it from the sound on the bat. So
yeah, it was a 2-strike pitch. Let's take a look at this on the replay. No doubt about it off the bat of David Candelas. And he watched that one. So it's a 7-3 ball game. 2 outs in the inning. And this ball is lined to left field. That's going to be a base hit, and it goes all the way to the wall. Base hit for Dickman. He's on his way to second base, and he's going to make it with a slide. He's in there with a double. So, third time through the order, and definitely some hard-hit baseballs against Tomáš Ondra, and that's going to induce a mound visit from Paco Garcia. Ondra, 4 2/3 innings. He's up around 80 pitches now. I think 79 to be exact. Well, the Disciples need him to at least get through this inning, and then they can decide how they want to play it, whether they want to use Jan Endriat or Luke Steinlein. And Paco Garcia, the head coach of the Disciples, himself also a pitcher, so he knows exactly the questions to ask and what kind of answers he's looking for from Tomáš Ondra. Thorpe and Ondra still out there on the mound as Garcia retreats back to the dugout.
no action on bullpen right now at the Disciples.
Well, it's hard to see. You can never really see into the Disciples bullpen because it's behind all the tents and the food shop area, but a 4-run lead for the Disciples, and the Mannheim Tornadoes, if there's a team that can make a 4-run lead evaporate, it's the Tornadoes. So they're trying to create some heavy wins here in the top of the 5th inning. 7-3 is the score. The hitter is Jonathan Wagner, who's 0 for 2. Lucas Dickman is on second base. Dickman 3 for 3, by the way. And the pitch on the way. There's that off-speed curve, and it drops in for a strike to Jonathan Wagner. 0-1 the count. 3 runs on 7 hits and 4 errors for the Tornadoes. 7, 8, and 1 for the Disciples. There's the 0-1. Another good curve, strike 2. (7-3) Disciples. We are in the 5th. Ondra from the set, 0-2. Checks the runner at second and now comes home. Swung on and missed, strike 3. The inning is over. So he strikes out Jonathan Wagner on 3 pitches after the meeting with Garcia, but 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Haar. It's the Disciples 7, the Tornadoes 3. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert from Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Haar Disciples Ballpark. It is 7-3 Disciples. We are going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Mitch Hillert, the second Tornadoes pitcher, deals, and the first pitch is swung on and missed from David Wallace, and we are underway. Now the Tornadoes flexing their muscles a couple of times. One from one of the guys you do expect, one from one of the guys you don't. Dominic Hoofner with a home run, David Candelas with a home run. Both of them were crushed as Wallace fouls away the next pitch, 0-2 the count. And think about that play that Nicolici made. That would have been another run if Mitch Nielsen had been on base before David Candelas' home run. His 11th of the year. That leads the Bundesliga. And those 2 home runs last inning have lifted the Tornadoes to 41 as a team. There's a slow roller to third, one-handed by Dickman. He fires and gets David Wallace, 5-3 on the putout, 1 away.
Nächster Schlagmann für die Disciples. Unser Shortstop. Titus.
I would ask my partner to elaborate and analyze that play, but he's got a mouthful of French fries. So, Andreas, you can just wave to the center field camera for us. But that, that's what you're supposed to do at a ball game.
Yeah, it is. And these French fries here in the ballpark in Haar are spectacular.
I'm not going to deny that. Here's Titus von Kopf. Speaking of spectacular, he's 2 for 2 with a run driven in and 2 runs scored. He looks at a curveball strike on the first pitch. So Mitch Hillert had to come in last inning and put out the fire. Here's the 0-1 to von Kopf. He slings one outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gianfranco Rizzo, the final line, 3 2/3, 8 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned. He walked 3 and struck out 6. He can lose it, he cannot win it. The 1-1 fouled to the screen from von Kopf. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. After von Kopf, the top of the order, Simon Lechner. A lively atmosphere here in the ballpark because it's going to be something of a party after this game. I think they've got a DJ and they're going to leave the lights on and let people enjoy the burgers. And there's a swing and a tapper foul on that little sidearm curveball from Hillert.
I have to admit, it's just a really great ball game to watch. It's really fun.
Yeah, there's been a lot of action going back and forth. No tomahawk chop as far as I know. Titus von Kopf swings and misses and strikes out, and Juan Martin thought that was the 3rd out of the inning. He started headed towards the dugout, and he gets laughed at by some of the Mannheim fans. 2 down. And Martin was about to head into the Tornadoes dugout. Not so fast, Juan. And Simon Lechner at the plate. Lechner having a great year at the plate. He's 1 for 3 today. He looks at a curveball down and away, 1 ball and no strikes. And Hillert comes back, fastball high, 2-0. Give a shout out to Randy Ewert, who's watching, sent me a message. Thank you for tuning in. Former coach of the Tornadoes. There's a chopper up the first baseline foul as Thomas DeWolf goes for the kick save on that one.
Mitch Hillert does a great job right now from keeping them off base, the Disciples.
Hillert came on and faced Luke Steinlein, who reached on the error, and then he struck out Dinsky to end the threat. He's retired Wallace on a ground ball and von Kopf on a strikeout. Here's the pitch on the way to Lechner. This one hit off the end of the bat, a little floater, and it's just past the outstretched glove of Mitch Nielsen into center field. Simon's got his second base hit of the game. Didn't hit it hard, but hit it to the right spot.
Everything I say, in between 2 minutes, it will get the exact opposite result today.
Now you know how much power you have by being a broadcaster. Just imagine if it was a no-hitter.
I'm known on Twitter as the Jinx Master.
Yeah, if it really was, I when I was 12, I used to feel that way. Now I don't. Here's the pitch to Cedric Bossel. There's a drive, right field. Candelas is drifting back. He's got a beat on it, and he one-hands it to make the final out of the inning an easy catch.
I will tell about my most famous jinx in the next inning.
Well, you can talk about it right now. We don't have to take a break, even though this is Haar Disciples Baseball, presented from Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. But, yeah. What did you jinx, Andreas?
I jinxed Jordan Spieth on the final round in Augusta into the Yabes. He was leading by 5 strokes, in the final round of the Augusta and just went on Twitter and just wrote, "Oh, I can go to bed. Jordan Spieth will win it."
Oh, I think Twitter jinxes might actually be real.
They are. They
Just so
are.
you know.
They are.
The problem with the Twitter jinx is that it's like frozen in time. It's there for everyone to see. And if you delete the tweet, somebody's going to have a screenshot of it, and then you're just going to look even worse.
No, I'm really proud of that jinx. So now the people on Twitter are fried. So every time I
Sorry, I turned the wrong mic down. Go ahead.
yeah. I know what you're saying. What you want to say.
No, I was going to. I whenever I have to cough or something, I turn the mic down, but I actually turned yours down and almost coughed directly into the. Anyway, keep talking. I'm listening.
No, now I have respect for my jinxes, so I use it wisely. But today, I think the small jinxes are good right now.
Well, one thing is for sure, we have a 7-3 ball game, which, given the context of the two teams that are playing, is a close ball game, right? In the major leagues, 7-3 would not be like the most dramatic of games, but somebody has written into the YouTube chat, Jinxmaster, man kennt ihn.
Yeah.
So, du bist berühmt.
I hope so.
Well, as Pink Floyd goes on in the background, Juan Martin is going to try to come up money for the Mannheim Tornados. It'll be Martin, Moritz Herlein, and Merlin Bendlin. 7-8-9 against Tomáš Ondra. 7-3, the Disciples lead. We are now in the 6th. First pitch, a curve strike, and that has really been the key for Tomáš Ondra today, throwing that first pitch curveball for strikes. That's been a huge difference today compared to his more recent performances. The 1-0 curveball, comebacker, snagged by Ondra. Look what I found, out number one.
You see that the first pitch strike from Ondra is just giving him so much confidence with the next pitches, and then it's just so important for him.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you get ahead of the hitter 0-1, that puts more pressure on them. They don't want to fall behind 0-2, and so you get the hitter to swing at your pitch instead of you having to throw the pitch that they're looking for. That's one of the cliches of pitching, of course, and it's easy to talk about, difficult to do, and today Ondra is doing it.
You can literally feel his confidence right now after that first pitch strike.
So Moritz Herlein 0 for 2. First pitch is outside. That was a fastball.
And it was close.
Martin, after that ground out, is 0 for 3. 7-3 the score. A lot of ball game left, though. There's the 1-0. Popped up right side. This is going to stay in the field. Nicolici and Lechner. Nicolici underhands it.
You can use the phrase in German for your next The Zone broadcast.
Dialogue Schnee drauf.
It is definitely.
I have until August to practice. So. Merlin Bendlin now with 2 outs as Tomáš Ondra. You know, there has not been a 1-2-3 inning for either side in this game. And Ondra.
Every phrase with snow is even better in August.
Yeah, Ondra was close to having a 1-2-3 inning, but then Bendlin, who's at the plate right now, ruined it. That was back in the 2nd inning. And the curveball, that's in for a strike. First pitch curveball.
This is money.
Is money, like Pink Floyd said. Some other phrases for that, like coming up nails. There's a swing and a chopper foul. Have you heard that?
Sorry?
Coming up nails.
Coming
Like,
nails.
like
no?
that's money or that's nails.
Ah, okay.
No balls and 2 strikes the count on Merlin Bendlin. For the Americans, that's Merlin. And Ondra's 0-2. Curveball just got a piece to stay alive, and Bendlin swinging over the top of it. It's amazing how simple it seems when you're watching a pitcher who's just doing all the cliche things, you know, changing speeds, throwing strikes. And I remember I used to listen to Yankee games as a kid, and it was the pitch, check swing on a high fastball, 1-2, and I would think to myself, it's so easy. Why can't Dave Righetti always strike out every single batter he ever faces? You know, there's this little thing called executing. The theory is I mean, you know, it's relatively complicated, but it's simple in theory. But to go and do it is difficult. There's a swing and a pop, foul out of play again. And Ondra.
To stay in the Bundesliga, it has to be great to be Mike Bolsenbrook.
Yeah. Well, Bolsenbrook, you know, he's got that deceptive delivery, and he throws so hard, and his ball has a lot of movement on it. There's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first 1-2-3 inning we've had in this game. Tomáš Ondra sets down the Tornadoes in order. Nothing across the board. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 7-3 Disciples. This is Haar Disciples Baseball. Präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. All right. Jetzt geht's los here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 7-3 Disciples. Mitch Hillert's back out there for his 2nd complete inning of work, and he's dealing with the middle of the lineup. Changeup swung on and missed by the number 3 hitter, Will Thorpe. It'll be Thorpe, Thomas, and Nicolici. 3, 4, 5 in the order. As the Disciples, for the first time in the game, did not score last half inning. 0-1 the count to Will. The pitch. Fastball missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
The mound visit from Paco Garcia worked wonders last inning.
It helped Ondra. We can certainly speculate about that. The 1-1 pulled foul, 1-2. Thorpe today 2 for 2 with an intentional walk. He has doubled and scored. He has singled and scored. He has been intentionally walked and scored. Scored 3 runs. Another day at the office. Dr. No Skills wants us to do the wave. We'll do that after this pitch. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed, and it was off the glove of Martin. Thorpe paused to argue. Throw to first is in time. Thorpe was trying to argue that he had foul tipped it. It certainly didn't sound like it from here.
No.
But if Thorpe had run right away, he might have had a chance to reach. As it is, it's a strikeout, and he is down 2-3. So, Andreas, we're going to do the wave. Ready? There you go, Dr. No Skills. That was it for you. Oh, wait. We have to do it with the center field camera on. Here we go. You're welcome. Of course, you realize you're going to have to do the wave with us next time you're here. I'm speaking to one person who's watching this game, by the way. Sorry to all the rest of you, as Nate John Thomas takes a pitch outside. There's a lot of hustle and bustle in the ballpark today.
It's a great atmosphere, I know.
Strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
It's a little bit chilly, but it's better than the last week's, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. 1-1. Bouncing ball left side, and it's foul as it kicks off the wrist of Lucas Dickman down the third baseline. He was getting ready to try to field that ball and fire it in one motion to get the speedy Thomas, but it kicked foul at the last moment. So the count 1-2. Hillert came on. He's actually retired. Everybody that he's faced, with the exception of Simon Lechner and Steinlein reaching on the error. He's got 3 strikeouts. Nate-John Thomas batting right-handed, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Thomas asks for time. I think that's the first time this entire ball game that a hitter has asked for time.
Yeah, it is. After that batter, we can go around the other Bundesliga ballparks.
That's true, yes. Foul to the screen. Now you can start reading off some of them now. There's some exciting action going on for sure.
Regensburg and Heidenheim were in a rain delay. They are now top at the first inning, and Regensburg is leading 1-0. We have Stuttgart and Ulm. Stuttgart won the first game 6-2.
There's the 1-2 pitch, and he cues it foul.
And the second game, Stuttgart is leading 7-0 in top of the 8th inning, so we can put 2 wins for the Stuttgart Reds on the board if nothing spectacular happens.
You're the jinx master, though, from what I understand.
I have to stop if Ulm will get the win after this top of the 8th inning.
1-2 hit sharply on the ground up the middle, base hit center field for Nate-Sean Thomas. Thomas, yeah, he's got 2 hits today, plus a sacrifice fly and a walk.
And he is enjoying this game today. You can see him grin, you can see him smile all over the place.
Well, that's certainly a good sign, because the Disciples a couple of weeks ago were completely crestfallen. They looked dilapidated in body and soul. And now Klaus Nicolici, who nobody seems to be able to get him out in recent weeks. He is 2 for 3 today with 2 doubles, 3 runs batted in. I can tell you a story about jinxing in a minute as Thomas is checked on.
We have some more games in the Bundesliga coming up. Mainz won both games against Saarlouis, 12-7 and 10-4.
Thomas was faking, and that time I think DeWolf got faked out, as DeWolf was the one who came off the bag to get the throw. Thomas a very short lead, but clearly Mitch Hillert is concerned, as Nate-Sean, a very good base stealer, takes his lead. And the pitch on the way. Nicolici lifts a fly ball down the right field side, foul, being chased by Candelas and DeWolf, and it lands untouched. Strike 1 on Klaus Nicolici.
The Hamburg Steelers won both games against the Cologne Cardinals, 10-1 and 6-0. And the Dorenwald Farmers won against the Wesseling Vermins, 8-5 and 6-1. So no surprises here. And the Paderborn Untouchables won against Bremen Dockers 2 times. So no surprises in the Bundesliga Nord.
0-1 on Klaus Nicolici again on check on Nate-Sean Thomas. He's back easily. You know, there was a game in 1989, and I remember this because it made This Week in Baseball, where the Pirates and the Phillies were playing in Philadelphia. Here's the 0-1. And a pitch out. You don't see that every day. And nothing on. You almost never see pitch outs anymore. And that time, Thomas was not going. Anyway, this game was in Philadelphia, and the Pirates scored 10 runs in the top of the first inning. And Pirates announcer Jim Rooker declared, if we lose this game, I'll walk back to Pittsburgh. The pitch is up high for ball 2.
I know what happens next.
Yeah, I'll give you 3 guesses what happened. The Phillies came back and won, and after the game was over, they were like, well, you said you'd do it. You better do it. So 2-1. There goes Thomas. The pitch is high, no throw, as Martin couldn't get the transfer cleanly out of his glove. So Nate-Sean Thomas dives in with a stolen base. 3 balls and a strike now on Nicolici.
It was a well-constructed stealing of the base from Nate-Sean Thomas. Everyone knew he would go for a steal, and Mitch Hillert knew, and everyone knew, and he just looked for the right pitch, looked for the right moment. That was great.
Yeah, 10 for 10 in stolen bases. The pitch. Nicolici pops one up off the end of the bat. That's out of play, and the count now full 3-2. Anyway, to close the book on that little story, Jim Rooker, so basically what they did was after the season ended, they set up a charity. They made it sort of a charity walk and he did it in several stops, and it became like this news event. And he did it. He walked from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh. It's pretty hilarious.
That's great.
So
That's a great story.
Thomas going for third. The pitch is high. The throw to third is not in time. He got the hand around the tag. That was a heck of a throw by Juan Martin. It's ball 4 to Klaus Nicolici, but that's risky. You do not want to make an out at third base. It's not bad with less than 2 outs, which is the situation. But it's also the type of thing you want to make sure you make it.
That was close. That was awfully close. Nathan Thomas to get picked off on third base.
So he was going on first move. Hillard didn't really pay much attention. It was a breaking ball high and outside. Pretty good pitch to throw on, or to run on rather. But the throw looked like it was pretty close to be there, and Nicolici is now going to be relieved by Dennis Wallace. So Dennis Wallace will pinch run for Klaus Nicolici, who had a great day at the plate. Also made a nice snag of a line drive off the bat of Mitch Nilsson. So Dennis Wallace is now the runner at first base. And the hitter is Lucas Steinlein. There is 1 out in the inning. First and third. Wallace is not a base stealer at first base, but they just wanted better speed. The Disciples, they are not playing this game as if it's a blowout. They are looking to put more runs up on the scoreboard. First and third, 1 out. The pitch, swing and a miss. Steinlein very late on a fastball.
Talking of big leads, we had 2 years ago, we had this game between Mannheim
and Mainz.
Mannheim and Mainz. I was there 2 years ago, so that was one heck of a ball game.
And there goes Wallace for second base, and the throw is not in time as Martin was waiting for somebody to cover. And Wallace, I mentioned, not a base stealer. Well, he is now. He just stole second base. And the pitch was high, and the infield for the Tornadoes fell asleep on that play. Martin somewhat disgustedly throwing the ball through as nobody covered. Neither Nilsson nor the second baseman Bendlein, and now the infield has to come up, and they will try to come home and cut off Nathan Thomas at the plate.
Martin is very angry with his infielders because they fell asleep on that play.
There's the 1-1. Strike on the outside corner. A little slurve. Slider / curve. Hillard flings it from the left side about a 3/4 angle. Doesn't throw all that hard, but he's got decent results so far. This inning, a walk and a single given up. Steinlein with a 1-2 count, choking up on the bat. And the pitch. Swings, and he just got a piece to stay alive. Now, the Disciples have had several opportunities like this. They have had base runners all over the place in this ballgame. They left 1 in the first, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 last inning. They've got 2 on now. There's only 1 out. They lead 7-3 in this ballgame. We're in the bottom of the 6th. And Hillard, taking a while, comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Popped foul again. Steinlein stays alive.
Hält sich im At-Bat.
Hält sich im At-Bat. Genau. Der verschafft sich ein bisschen Luft. Does that work? Probably not.
It works
kind
too.
of.
Yeah, it works too.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on second and third. Infield in. And the pitch. There's a hot shot, and it's played by Nilsson. He holds the runners, throws to first, and Steinlein beat it out. Everybody's safe. Nilsson was so focused on making sure that he held the runners, he took too much time. And Steinlein skirting down the line and beats it out. You can see that from here. And the bases are loaded. That's going to, well, it could be an error. It was bobbled initially by Mitch Nilsson.
He had so much time to throw the runner on first base.
Yeah, and he wanted to make sure he kept it in front of him. You know, sometimes on plays like that, you see he sort of nonchalantly picked it up. Not sure he thought it was going to be as tough to get Steinlein as it was, but now the base is loaded. Now the middle infielders go back looking for 2, and the hitter, David Dinsky. The pitch is inside.
David Dinsky can put this game to bed. I hope I don't swallow these words.
1 ball and no strikes on Dinsky. Bases loaded, 1 out. Dinsky has struck out and walked twice. The pitch swung on, lifted in the air to right field. Candelas is there. He's got a great arm. Makes the catch. Thomas is coming. Here's the throw to the plate, and it is not in time. Thomas scores. 8-3. Everybody else stays put. There are 2 down. Sac fly for David Dinsky. Thomas with excellent speed scores from third. It is now 8-3 Disciples. Well, we saw the arm of David Candelas before as he nearly got a put out on third base, but this time ball hit too deep to right field. So 2 down. The Tornadoes will take it, of course. As David Wallace steps up to the plate. Wallace is 0 for 3. And the pitch is a strike. Little slider on the inside corner from Hillert. Runner at second base is Dennis Wallace. Rich Steinlein is on first.
And they make Mitch Hillert work for this inning.
That, by the way, was an error on Mitch Nilsson. That is the 5th error of the game. The pitch hit off the end of the bat, a little pop-up, shallow center field. Nilsson is back. Benlein calls him off and makes the catch in shallow center field. So the inning comes to a close, but the Disciples tack on another run. They get 1 run on 1 hit. There was an error, and there were 2 left on base. We go to the 7th inning here in Haar. It is the Disciples 8 and the Tornadoes 3. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. So we go to the 7th inning here in Haar, and the Disciples leading the Tornadoes by a score of 8-3, and the new pitcher is the 17-year-old Titus von Kopf. He has pitched in 6 games this year, in 11 innings, an ERA of 4.09, and he is relieving Tomasz Ondra, who went 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. He can win it, he cannot lose it. The first pitch is bunted foul back to the screen, strike 1. Off the bat of Dominik Hüpfner, who in 3 trips has knocked the ball out of the ballpark. He's 1 for 3 with a home run.
Quite an eventful day for Titus von Kopf right now today.
Yeah, he's got a couple of hits, scored some runs, had a Little League home run. And now he's coming on to try to protect the lead. The young right-hander works from the stretch at all times. Here's the 0-1 to Hüpfner, curveball, and that's high. He's going to face the big boppers for the Tornadoes. The top of the order, Dominic Hüpfner, then Thomas de Wolf and Mitch Nielsen. 1-1. Swing and a miss. He blew a fastball right by him, 1-2.
The Haar Disciples will take the stats from Andre right now. From Andre today. Every day, I think 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, he pitched very well today. There's a slow chopper left side charging on at Thomas. Fields throws and got him. First out of the inning.
He made that look easy, that throw.
Yes, he did. He got it on a nice waist-high bounce. And, you know, at times the left side infield for the Disciples has been shaky. But Thomas made that play look easy. By the way, the new shortstop is Miguel Pinheiro. Of course, Titus von Kopf had been playing shortstop. Now he's on the mound. Dennis Wallace, who pinch ran for Klaus Nicolici, is playing first base. And the rest of the defensive alignment is the same. So now Thomas de Wolf against the young right-hander, Titus von Kopf. And the pitch is low, ball 1. De Wolf, the Belgian Bambino, former New York Mets farmhand, has had a really solid European baseball career. The 1-0, that's taken low. 2 balls and no strikes. De Wolf sees a lot of pitches outside of the zone. A lot of pitchers try to get him to chase, and they're more than happy to give him a walk, a la Barry Bonds. There's a 2-0. That's low. Remember a few years back when De Wolf was playing for Mainz, rather. There was a player on the Bad Homburg Hornets who calculated weighted runs created plus as De Wolf takes ball 4. He actually went through and calculated some of the more advanced statistics.
Okay.
Weighted runs created plus is one of those stats where if you have 100, it's average.
Yep.
You know, and then the higher or lower you go from that is how much better you were than the rest of the league or how much worse you were.
And
well, Thomas de Wolf had a 300 WRC plus in 2016. Something around there is ridiculous.
And his OPS plus
Yeah.
wouldn't be too shabby either.
Here's Mitch Nielsen and the pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball down at his back foot, strike 1. Nielsen 0 for 3. He's hit the ball hard twice, though, with nothing to show for it. 1 strike to count to him. De Wolf on first, not going anywhere. This ball is swung on and drilled to deep left center field. Playable for Steinlein. He's there, makes the catch. That's the second out of the inning. Now the Disciples are starting to count down the outs. They have 7 left to go to get the victory in this game. And David Candelas, who reached on an error, even though he crushed the ball in the first inning, then popped out to the catcher. Then he hit a home run that I think is still going.
It just left Bavaria.
And it left Bavaria. It's on its way to Niedersachsen right now. De Wolf still on first base. David Candelas at the plate. And the pitch is low. You figure the conversation going into each new pitcher that comes into the game, you know, I'm just imagining Will Thorpe being like, okay, whatever you do, keep the ball down.
Yeah,
just keep it down. The 1-0 swung on and missed. Candelas was a little early on his swing there and nearly came out of his shoes and twisted himself into the ground on that.
To speak with Dennis Eckersley once again, he brought the cheese.
He brought the cheese. The swing had the cheese that time, though. Candelas was way out ahead of that, even though it was a fastball. 1-1. Here it comes. Just missed the inside edge. Close pitch.
The phrase from Dennis Eckersley I don't get is a pair of shoes for a strikeout. Just a pair of shoes.
A pair of shoes.
I don't understand.
I don't know if I understand that either. Maybe hang him up. I don't know. 2 balls and a strike. Eckersley has his own language. This ball drilled foul. Look out over in the bullpen. Hopefully there will still be burgers available after the game, and the person making them was not hit by that line drive. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We are in the 7th. It's almost time to stretch, but not quite yet. David Candelas trying to extend things a little bit here. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled straight back to the screen. Candelas that time was shortening his stroke just a little bit, and it was a slider from Van Kopf.
Good at bat from Candelas.
Two, the pitch. Swung on again, fouled back to the screen. That time Candelas chasing a pitch I think that was outside the zone. David Candelas, who born in Australia but has German heritage. This is his first year playing in the Bundesliga. Van Kopf checks on the runner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch popped up. Middle of the diamond. Simon Lechner at the edge of the grass, waits for it to come down and squeezes it for out number 3.
And Titus Van Kopf was walking down the road.
Doing the Pascual Perez where he runs off the mound into the dugout before the ball has even come down.
Was great.
That's confidence.
Yeah.
No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. It is time to stretch. We go to the bottom of the 7th here in Haar. It is 8-3 Disciples. This is Haar Disciples Baseball presented from Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD.
Top of the 7th inning, Titus Van Kopf is batting. We mentioned it. Quite an eventful day for Van Kopf.
I remember.
As I'm describing you the situation.
Don't you remember when it was 2 years ago? I think it was when it was a very rainy October.
Tim Collins went AWOL. So 1 ball, 2 strikes for Van Kopf. Mitch Hillert is pitching. Two balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. And Titus Van Kopf is gone at the first base. I told the audience you went AWOL.
Well, you know, that's what happens. So Van Kopf grounds out. Nice play by Lucas Dickman on the first batter of the inning. Bottom of the 7th inning, it is 8-3 Disciples leading the Mannheim Tornados. And now the top of the order, Simon Lechner steps up. And he looks at a strike. Simon today 2 hits and 4 at-bats. He flied out and struck out and then singled twice. He scored a run. And he drives that high in the air to right field. But Candelas, with plenty of room, makes the catch. Simon, it sounded good. Yeah. Didn't quite have the distance.
Candelas had some of that, a couple of that situations. Deep drives into the right field, but not far enough.
So 2 very quick outs for Mitch Hillert here in the 7th inning. It's probably a good thing this game is speeding up because, you know, like it tends to do, it's getting dark. As Cedric Bossel steps up to the plate. Bossel is 0 for 4. He struck out twice and flied to right twice. One of them, however, advanced base runners to second and third. And he swings and misses strike one on that pitch. Hillard so far 3 innings has allowed an unearned run on 2 hits. And the 0-1 pitch, outside fastball. Looks like Hillard is starting to throw a little harder now than he did before. Working quickly, and a breaking ball twists in on the outer half. 1-2. The Disciples leading 8-3. The pitch popped up, foul, out of play. We will do it again. That ball skied up and out of the ballpark. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Seti Basel. Hillard was asking for a new ball on the left-hander. Also having a short conversation with Ozzie Scharf, the home plate umpire. I wonder if that was to give, it looks like Juan Martin is flexing his left hand. Maybe he got hit on the backswing from Cedric Basel on that last pitch. I didn't see what happened, but that's one of those things the umpire will walk out and make some small talk with the pitcher as a means of giving the catcher a little bit of a break. There's a line drive right field. Candelas goes back a few steps and puts it away. Basel hit it hard, but it's a very quick 1-2-3 inning for Mitch Hillard. Nothing across the board for the Disciples. We go to the 8th inning. It is a 5-run game. The Disciples 8, the Tornadoes 3. This is Haar Disciples baseball. Präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the top of the 8th inning here in Haar. The Disciples leading the Tornadoes by a score of 8-3. My name is Tim Collins, along with Andreas Thies and Titus van Kopf, who pitched a scoreless 7th inning in relief of Tomasz Ondra, is going to try to continue along those same lines here. He's going to deal with 5, 6, and 7. Lucas Dickmann, Jonathan Wagner, and Juan Martin. That's the Disciples trying to cash in on this lead. The first pitch is a strike from Van Kopf, 0-1 the count to Lucas Dickmann. Dickmann has been on base all 3 times. He's got 2 doubles and a single.
Just to make that clear, I never jinxed the Stuttgart Reds. They won against Ulm 10-2.
Ah, okay. Well, but they did give up 2 runs. There's a pitch just low and inside.
In the 8th inning, after I mentioned that.
They must have heard you.
Yeah.
1 ball and 1 strike to count on Lucas Dickmann leading things off. Dickmann has not, he used to be a very good pitcher as well. There's a breaking ball. That one knees maybe on the outside corner, and Dickmann not thrilled. Gets strike 2 called on him. But I remember Lucas a couple of years ago with the Mainz Athletics. He was really a pitching prospect. And I believe he hurt his arm. There's a swing and a fly ball to center field. Basel started in. Now he's racing back, and he makes the catch and falls down just for good measure. Well, I think he misread that ball. Initially, he started in. It did look like Dickman had hit that ball off the end of the bat. And it carried a lot further, I think, than Basel initially thought it would, but he recovered nicely and made the play. So 1 away. And if you're counting along with the Disciples, that means 5 to go to get a win in the books. They split last weekend in Heidenheim.
That would be a nice win today against Mannheim.
Yeah, these two teams, I mean, the Disciples and Mannheim split in Mannheim back in April. Disciples always tend to play Mannheim really well, it seems. So the hitter now, Jonathan Wagner, looks at a curve and it's low.
Did you see that guy who's walking around with the cap of the French Federation, French Baseball Federation?
Oh, yes. Those are the folks from Yaya Bats.
Ah.
They are actually from Slovakia. Here's the 1-0. I did see him.
This will be a highlight of this year, baseball highlight of this year, the European Championships in Bonn and Solingen.
Yes, in September. It's going to be fun. We mentioned it before. You'll be there, you said, for part of it, right?
Yeah, for a week.
2-0 is high. 3-0. I will probably be there for a few days. I mean, I would love to be there for the whole thing if I could. But, you know, it's a big event. 3-0, Wagner will be taking, and he takes ball 4. Well, that is just the third walk issued by Disciples pitching, second one from Titels von Kopf. And the one thing you do not want to do is give the Mannheim Tornados extra base runners, because they so frequently just hit the baseball to places where you will never find it again. That home run that Candelas hit, I think, went into like the third dimension somewhere.
Yeah.
And even Dominic Hüpfner's blast was no cheapie.
I think they just play like, just give us one little situation where we can go from there. Just this walk.
Yeah, they're looking for the opening.
And we can go from there. They're so dangerous.
Juan Martin is 0 for 3 today. Runner on first base. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Martin looked like he had almost made up his mind he was going to swing before the pitch was thrown. It was a breaking ball down and away.
Martin is not the happiest camper today.
Got to also give credit to a 17-year-old kid throwing a first pitch slider down and away to an experienced right-handed hitter.
Absolutely.
0-1. The pitch, strike 2. That was another breaking pitch. Wasn't as well located, but Martin was looking for something else, and that's the part that mattered. 0-2. Wagner on first base. He has a virtually non-existent lead. And the 0-2. High, and Thorpe fakes, and Wagner has to go diving back in. Well, Thorpe, not so much this year, I think probably because teams have wisened up to it, but the past few years, he was a back pick machine. 1-2 on Juan Martin. The pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3.
That was a great pitch for strike 3.
It really was. Martin saw nothing hittable in that at bat.
Nearly the pickoff on first base.
Yeah, that's another Will Thorpe specialty. Wait till the batter starts to walk away and then throw behind the runner to first. So 2 down in the inning in Moritz Höhlein.
Just 4 more outs for the Disciples.
And the pitch is a strike. Höhlein today 0 for 3. Grounded out twice. Grounded out once and popped out twice. Lights are on. The pitch is a breaking ball down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Normally in a game like this, as it's coming up on 7:30 p.m., you know, they have these rules where you can play about 20 minutes past sundown. Sundown is not until at least another hour from now. But on a day like today that has a lot of clouds, it's still dark. The pitch is outside. 2-1. And we saw a couple of years ago, these same two teams played a game Very exciting game, then it got suspended. A huge crowd, lots of people here. There was no result to cheer about because it got too dark and they couldn't play anymore. It was a 2-1. Fastball missed outside, 3-1. Well, on deck is the number 9 hitter, Merlin Bendlin.
Titus van Kaff wanted that pitch, wanted the strike.
3-1. There are 2 outs in the inning. You don't want to, if you're the Disciples, you don't want to give them too much of a window of opportunity, but that's exactly what's going to happen, at least right now, as the pitch hit Höhlein, and he will take first base, so a walk and a hit batter in the inning. Van Kopf with 2 walks and hit batter to go along with a strikeout in 1 2/3 innings of work. Will Thorpe goes out to the mound to have a little chat. And I guarantee you that the conversation centered around the fact that the hitter at the plate today is the number 9 hitter. And you want to get him out. You don't want to face the top of the order, especially with runners on base. If you look ahead, tying run 2 batters away would be Thomas DeWolf. So this is a big batter, and he pulls it fouled as Bendlin down the third baseline. Strike 1. And an important pitch for Van Kopf as he gets ahead, strike 1. On Merlin Bendlin. Bendlin is 1 for 3 today. He's singled, popped out, and struck out. Titus van Kopf trying to keep this game in check, trying to get himself a 3-inning save and preserve it for Ondra and the Disciples. Runners lead first and second. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Good block by Thorpe. No advance by the base runners. Strike 2 is Bendlin. A little bit over anxious on that one. Went chasing. So how would you translate gone fishing? He went fishing for that pitch. Angeln. Can't really translate that.
No. Ist angeln gegangen ist just
doesn't work.
It doesn't work in German.
Nothing in 2.
I have to think about that.
Van Kopf can get out of this with 1 more strike. Swung on and missed, and he did exactly that. Good block by Thorpe. He tagged out Bendlin, shaking his head as he walks away, and the inning is over. And no runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left on base. We will go to the bottom of the 8th inning here in Haar. Getting ahead of myself. It is the bottom of the 8th inning. It's the Disciples 8, the Tornadoes 3. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, presented from Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We need to invent some of those. Welcome back to the bottom of the 8th inning. Andreas Thies and I discussing baseball vernacular in German and English. So if you have any suggestions for a hitter chasing a ball down and out of the strike zone where in English you would say he went fishing, please tweet your German translations of that to us at Eurobaseball TV. So Will Thorpe looks at a strike.
No, I don't come up with a accurate
There's a line drive right to Lucas Dickman at third, and that's the first out. Not hit all that hard, sort of a humpback line drive off the bat of Thorpe, and Dickman barely had to move. So Nate-Sean Thomas steps up to the plate. Thomas going to turn around, bat right-handed. Boy, Thomas has had a day. He tripled and scored. Excuse me, he tripled to drive home a run as he looks at a strike. Then he walked. Then he drove home a run with a sac fly. Then he singled and scored after stealing 2 bases. So a little bit of everything from Mr. Thomas, who is a native of the British Virgin Islands, in case you didn't know.
And he's a member of the British national team.
That's correct. 1 ball, 1 strike as the next one was low. So this ball's shot foul off to the right out of play, 1 and 2. That's going to land in the youth field. Usually there's a slew of children over there to run and go get it. I don't see anybody now. I think all the kids are already eating their candy. Oh, there's somebody. It used to be you bring the foul ball back to the score box and you get a piece of candy. 1 and 2. That one is down low and outside. 2 and 2. Looked like Hillert kind of dropped down even more than he usually does on that last pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. And strike 3 called in the inside corner. Thomas is caught looking. That was a good pitch from Mitch Hillert, who really is having a good game in relief of Gianfranco Rizzo, who was way off his game. Hillert in 3 2/3 innings now. Actually, 4 full innings. Has only just given up 2 hits and 1 unearned run. He's walked 1 and struck out 4. So he's pitched very well. So Dennis Wallace now getting his first at bat after he pinch ran for Klaus Nicolici. And Wallace takes a pitch high and outside. Wallace's batting average is well under 100. I think he only has a couple hits and a large amount of at-bats. Yeah.
Just 1 hit and 27 at-bats.
And 1 for 27.
0-37.
He swings and misses in the count.
I wonder if the home run from Kennelis landed right now.
Maybe. By the way, Dr. No Skills has given us a Vorschlag for a pitch. Somebody swinging at a pitch out of the zone. Er hat ein Luftloch geschlagen.
I
like
mentioned that too.
Swinging at a hole in the air. I like that.
I mentioned that too, but you can also say ein Luftloch geschlagen for swing and a miss.
Good. Okay. Well, I'm going to write that down. And by write that down, I mean take a photograph of the, because that's faster. So I got other stuff to do here. I can't be working on everything myself the whole time. But, you know, in a moment of selfishness, I have now learned something. So congratulations, you all got to watch me learn a little bit of German. You're welcome.
And we just got confirmation the home run landed in Kassel.
Ah, okay, Kassel. That's, you know, hop, skip, and a jump from here. Swing and a miss from Wallace. Hop, skip, and a jump. What would you say for that?
Hop, skip, and a jump?
There's a foul ball off the bat of Wallace. Count remains 2 and 2 with 2 down in the 8th. A hop, skip, and a jump. That's how far away it is. It's like right next door. Like
ein Katzensprung.
Katzensprung. Ah, yeah, okay. Swing and a foul. A Katzensprung. Yeah, it's. But Kessel, you know, of course, that was sarcasm. Kessel is not a Katzensprung.
No.
Away from Munich, it's like
3.5 hours by train.
Which means by car, that's 27.5 hours. 2 and 2, the pitch. There's a ground ball left side, one-handed by Lucas Dickman. He fields and fires to first and
Smooth
gets his man.
Smooth play by Lucas Dickman.
So 1-2-3 for Mitch Hillert. And so here we go to the top of the 9th inning. It is the last chance for the Mannheim Tornados. If they don't score 5, this game will end. And if they do score 5 or more, this game will continue. So, Mr. Jinx, what do you predict? Don't answer that. We'll come back for the bottom of the 9th inning. It's 8-3 Disciples. This is Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD.
Titus ist weiterhin auf Mount. Auf geht's, Disciples.
So it is the top of the 9th inning, do or die for the Mannheim Tornadoes. And they will send the top of the order. This is where the damage usually gets done for them. Dominic Höfner, who has homered today, to be followed by Thomas de Wolf and Mitch Nilsson. First pitch is swung on and fouled, strike one. Titus von Kopf trying to get a 3-inning save, as the Disciples with a 5-run lead, and that's where you want to be when you're facing these hitters that are coming up in this half inning.
I won't say anything to Titus von Kopf's performance until after the game.
There's a swing and a miss on a good off-speed pitch, 0-2. Von Kopf is changing speeds, and Höfner, you could see his head jerking back and forth as he was way in front of that pitch. 0-2. Nobody out. The Disciples need 3 more outs. The pitch. Little tapper in front of the plate. Picked up by Thorpe. He tags him out, and that is out number 1. A fair ball. Höfner never even left home plate. The ball was fair a few inches right in front of home plate. And Thorpe, in about 0.3 seconds, made the play. 2 unassisted. And the Disciples need 2 outs now. As we take a look at this on the replay, Thomas de Wolf with nobody on. Look at this ground ball. It rolled just to the left of home plate, but still in fair territory. Ozzie Scharf right there to make the call. And
die Entscheidung wird korrigiert. Aber Coach Garcia hat hier auch noch ein Gesprächsbedarf.
Okay, so wait a minute. They have decided that it's a foul ball, and Dominic Höfner is going to get to go back. And Paco Garcia is coming out there to say, wait a minute, how can you say that the other 2 umpires had a better view of that than you? You were right there. That's Garcia's argument. But the umpires got together, and they decided that it indeed was a foul ball. Well, I have the replay. I guess we can look at it one more time, but that's a big play because the Tornadoes would love. It's very close.
Very close, yeah.
It's hard to tell. So Höfner is going to get another pitch. He's still at 0-2, however. And the breaking ball is low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So erase the 2 unassisted. There is nobody out.
But you have to ask yourself the question, why are the other umpires who are standing 100 feet away have a better view than the home plate umpire, and that can be overruled?
Well, the pitch is swung on and missed, and it doesn't matter anyway as Höfner strikes out. So Titus von Kopf with his 3rd strikeout. I guess the argument would be, Andreas, that the third base umpire, Andreas Boxleitner, has the actual angle to see whether the ball was to the left or the right of the line when it was fielded. The home plate umpire, Ozzie Scharf, was perpendicular to the play and had the batter blocking him. But in the end, it doesn't matter anyway as Höfner strikes out, and there's 1 away. Here's de Wolf. Looks at ball 1. Thomas de Wolf has walked, singled, and struck out and walked. So he's been on base 3 out of 4 times. Perfectly Bonzian day, except for the home run. He is missing a home run. Might still come. And the 1-0. That's high, 2-0. Credit to de Wolf. He's not expanding the zone. And, you know, that might be different if he were on a different team that didn't have 3 other potent sluggers right behind him. He would maybe have more pressure to swing at pitches out of the zone. The pitch, a slider, and that's in for a strike. 2-1. de Wolf definitely not looking for that on 2-0.
He's not in the Mike Trout situation. He's in the George Springer situation right now.
Well, Trout has Ohtani at least behind him.
Just Ohtani.
And Cole Calhoun. The 2-1. Check swing, and it's fouled to the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
I only watch the Angels because of Mike Trout's offensive plays and Andrelton Simmons' defensive plays.
Not because of Shohei Ohtani doing anything?
Yeah, he was injured.
But he's not anymore. I mean, he's hitting now, and he's still hitting awesome.
Yeah, he is, and he's doing that with some ease. But
you want to see him pitch and hit.
Yeah.
Me too. Pitches high and outside. de Wolf, by the way, is also a pitcher.
And just to watch Andrelton Simmons do what he does.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's just a wizard on shortstop. he puts the shortstop position on another level, I think.
Yeah, he's an artist over there at short.
Absolutely.
3-2 on DeWolf, who was actually drafted as a pitcher by the Mets. The pitch. There's a drive, right field, and that ball's gone. High off the net, but that's a home run for DeWolf. I don't think he realizes that the top net is home run territory. He's shaking his hand saying, is that a double? And Andreas Boxleiter, the umpire, lets him in on the secret that the top net here in Haar Disciples Ballpark is indeed a home run. And so now that is a Bonzian line with all the walks and the home run.
You talked him into hitting that home run.
It's an 8-4 game as a balloon explodes right in front of the microphone. So hope you had the volume down. Let's watch that one on the replay. Thomas DeWolf home runs are always one of the more beautiful things you can watch. And for the Disciples, look at that ball just go flying off the bat. I mean, just a bomb.
You heard it from the crack of the bat. The sound of the bat, you heard that was gone.
Yeah, and fortunately for the Disciples, they have a 4-run lead. It is an 8-4 game. The scoreboard in center field has not been updated as of yet. Mitch Nilsson took a strike. The pitch, there's a line shot left center field, tailing towards Steinlein. He's there, and he makes the catch as he fell down to his stomach. Looked like he didn't quite see it all the way, but he makes the catch. Boy, Mitch Nilsson has hit the ball hard 4 out of 5 times today, and he's 0 for 5. That's a tough day. And so, David Candelas, the last man standing between the Haar Disciples and a victory. Candelas, no easy customer, of course. He has homered 1 for 4 in this game.
That was such an important out from Mitch Nielsen.
A little Stevie Wonder coming in over your box. Master Blaster. That's one of my favorites. Here's the pitch. Fastball, strike called inside corner.
Great pitch.
That was not where the target was set up, but well, the Mannheim Tornadoes down to their final out. The Disciples need 2 more strikes. 29-year-old David Candelas against the 17-year-old Van Kopf. Curveball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to him. A little darker. It's about 7:47 p.m. right now. About 7:47. It is 7:47 p.m. Time has been called. 2 outs, 9th inning, 8-4 Disciples. This series will continue. These 2 teams will play again tomorrow at 1 p.m. We will have it for you here on EuroBaseballTV.com. 1-1 on David Candelas. And the pitch. Hot shot pulled down the third base line, backhanded by Thomas. He spins, fires to first, in time! And the ball game is over. That was a great play by Nathan Thomas to put an exclamation point on an 8-4 victory.
And it was just typical that Nathan Thomas ends this game. It's so much fun today.
He and the rest of the Disciples had fun today. What a job by both Tomas Ondra and Titus van Kopf. Let's watch this on the replay. Well, that ball is a base hit 90% of the time. Thomas from short left field threw him out. And the Disciples have doubled up the offensive juggernaut, the Mannheim Tornadoes, by a score of 8-4. For the Disciples, they are now 9-10. For the Tornadoes, they are now 13-5. The winning pitcher is Tomas Ondra. Titus van Kopf gets a 3-inning save. Ondra pitched 6 innings. Van Kopf 3 innings of 1-hit ball. 1 hit, 1 run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts for the young right-hander. Highlights of the game: Will Thorpe with a double and scoring in the first inning. Nathan Thomas with an RBI triple. Klaus Nicolici with 3 runs batted in for the Disciples. Excellent pitching from Tomas Ondra, and a really fun ball game all around. The game coming to an end at 7:49 p.m. And Andreas, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me. It was a really fun ball game, and the right guys won.
Are you saying you're rooting for somebody? I had to put us on the screen because I just wanted to show
you
off
have this awesome Expos jersey.
the old retro Montreal Expos road jersey, which I will be wearing to. I know it's Yankees Red Sox, but I'm going to London series, and I feel like that's a series where you have to represent baseball for Europe. And my first baseball experiences were always Montreal Expos, even though I was a Yankees fan. Anyway, that's why I ordered this. So, Andreas, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you had fun.
I had.
And I hope you, the viewer, had fun as well. As we had a good time here in Haar Disciples Ballpark. We will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. The Mannheim Tornados will be back for Game 2 of this series with the Haar Disciples. And the final score, once again, the Haar Disciples 8, the Mannheim Tornados 4. This has been Haar Disciples Baseball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Have a good Saturday night, everybody. Thanks for watching.